Movie Podcast, episode number 158. Yeah.
Well,
All right.
rolled right off your tongue. It's like you knew what episode it was and everything.
Hello, I don't think to you.
It's almost as if, yeah.
Oh, wait. Did I just interrupt that? Hello? I think I did.
Jeez,
I haven't heard that.
How delayed am I? I
don't know.
Like that was like an hour ago.
Yeah.
No.
You're already delayed. You know what sucks? I kind of want to... When I was on that show...
Spit it out, boy!
Postmortem Radio. No, when I was on the show, there were some great episodes. They're gone because he never transferred the feed. So he didn't even realize. I just messaged him out of the blue one day because somebody that listens to this show heard us talking about Postmortem, and I guess he's been checking out the other shows and then said, I can't find it anymore. And I reached out to Oz and he said, oh, I think I would assume it just transferred over. I'm like, no, Oz, you have to do stuff to get it to transfer over. Yeah, the Great Powerful. I pulled the curtain back and he said, no, it's nowhere to be found. Yeah. And I said, well, bust my buttons. This is a podcast of a different color. And why am I doing that? Why am I Rodney Dangerfield? Whoa, I had a rough day today. I got no brains, see?
Everybody turns into Rodney or Dice. Yeah. No matter what the impression is, everybody turns into Rodney or Dice.
Let's see. He's a combination of Rodney and Dice. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Did you ever see Dice talk about Rodney? They had some questions about him on some show. Well, he goes, no, he was very nervous or something, he said. Do you remember that? What the hell was that when they interviewed Dice? And that's what he said. He's a nice guy, a little nervous, he would say. Like,
this was Rodney talking about Dice?
No,
Dice talking about Rodney?
Yeah. Dice talking about Rodney.
I remember Rodney being on Stern and them asking about Dice because, Dice had said once he was on that 8-0 right or whatever that special was, that's what catapulted him to like superstardom. It was like that segment on Rodney Dangerfield's special back in like 87.
Oh,
Nothing Goes Right or something like, I can't remember the name of that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And then that's what did it. And
that's
so
right?
if you look at the I'm all over the place here because I'll finish my first thought first. Rodney was interviewed on Dyson or on Stern, and he said that he never expected Dice he didn't see that coming. Or the way that was his reaction. Right. Instead of saying like, hey, yeah, I knew it was going to happen. He's like, no, I didn't notice it. Now, if you go back to that special, which is on YouTube, so you can all watch it, it's great because you'll see another comedian, which I totally forgot his name because maybe he had some fame back in the day, but I don't think it continued. And he walks out in the introduction when they're introducing all the comics, and he's wearing a leather jacket as they're introducing everybody. Yeah. When it gets to their sets, he's not wearing a leather jacket anymore. And the whole thing is, Dice told him, he goes, hey, the leather jacket's my thing. And he made him take it off. So I just thought it was a funny little bit of information. Great. So if you watch that special, during the introductions, the guy comes up with a leather jacket. And then during his actual routine, no leather jacket.
Wow.
That's the story. Brandon, I love Brandon's face right now. It means I told the story perfectly. When he's just like, looks like he's just in hell.
Well, that's gimmick infringement. I don't blame him. He had to get on it right. He had to nip it in the bud. You can't have the same gimmick. So it's either going to be me or it's going to be you. So I'm sure he did it the right way. The leather jacket probably wasn't part of this comedian's gimmick. Matter of fact, I watched that whole show when it first came out. So I remember it. They had a bunch of different comedians there. And it was great. But that's why.
Poor guy. He probably never amounted to anything. He's probably doing 3 or 4 podcasts right now.
He might be, which is more than what Oz is doing. because Oz didn't transfer. You know what? I'll give Oz credit. Things went south after C left, of course, and then and then eventually.
I would say that.
Well, I just mean.
I heard the show when C was on, and you know what? I'm glad the tapes are lost.
Lost tapes. The lost tapes.
I liked you better as a voice message on 22 Shots.
No,
this is the show.
Most people continue on and this and that, and no one's really listening to their show, but they still do it, and they endlessly fucking promote it and this and that, and it doesn't go anywhere. Most people don't know when it's time to close shop because there's no income. It's different. Like if you're running a mom and pop store, you're not getting any money or any attention. Eventually, you're gonna shut that fucking shit down. Now with podcast, most people just go on and on and on, regardless of what's going on, and don't seem to care. You know, by all means, do what you want. But I mean, I like it when a guy, the thing changed over. He obviously stopped recording before Horrorphilia shut its doors, and then just said, fuck it. Said, I'm not going to do new shows anymore. It's not getting where I thought it was going to be. This isn't working. I don't have whatever it is. And that's just it. So I don't even care about posting the old ones. I like it that a guy has that type of attitude and it isn't all uptight about doing it. So I give props to Oz on that, believe it or not. Because sometimes you see guys with YouTube, they're on YouTube for fucking 10 years. They're on YouTube for 10 years. They get 8 views of video, and they're still doing it. And I'm like,
why do you bring David Parker into this? Like, he's done nothing to you. I love Dave. I love Dave.
He's the greatest. And poor Dave had enough fucking bullshit to deal with. What's his name?
Screaming Toilet.
That was last show. I want to ask something about the Wizard of Oz because you were on it before. And in that scene, Surrender Dorothy. Okay, I've always wondered this. I always wonder this with movies and music when I hear lyrics sometimes. Were they telling Dorothy to surrender, or were they telling the people of Oz to surrender her to the witch?
Surrender her to the witch. I think the people of Oz.
So they're talking to Oz. Okay. Yeah. All right.
The people of Oz.
The people of Oz.
Or maybe
As
Oz,
mayor of the Munchkin City, in the county and the land of Oz. That guy.
I think one day we should just do a read-through of that fucking script. That movie.
Yeah. To see,
we represent the Lollipop Guild. It always goes back to that song.
I never knew it was called the Lollipop Guild until you. I thought it was the Lollipop Kids all these years.
I didn't know it was Lollipop Guild, and it might not be Lollipop Guild because that's what I took from it. Because
it is the Lollipop Guild, you bunch of skunk bastards. Of course,
whatever. Cock of the walk over here.
I don't know. I thought it was the Lollipop Kids.
I thought it was the Lollipop Kids when I was a kid because I didn't know what the fuck a guild was. But now that I'm a 41-year-old man, I know it's the Lollipop Guild.
I don't think I know.
The fact that you have to say that as a 41-year-old man is the big question.
The fact that you guys are fucking quoting every line from the movie, but still think it's the Lollipop Kids.
I did not. I never thought it was a Lollipop Kids, but Lollipop Guild. Because hey, I thought that whole.
Why Oz deleted your episode?
What did you think it was before? See, you said you didn't know.
No, I never knew. I just kept saying Lollipop Guild because that's what I heard.
Oh, so you did think that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just thought it was weird that they had a Lollipop Guild.
A medieval association of craftsmen or merchants, often having considerable power. What the fuck does that have to do with those fucking snot-nosed kids with lollipops? Nothing. Why would it be a guild?
Snot-nosed kids. They got power. They got the power of the sweets.
For the mutual aid of the pursuit of a common goal. So what could their goal be as Lollipop Guild? To promote lollipops?
To make sure that Dorothy killed the witch. Everybody's happy.
Why are they a guild, I'm saying? What makes them, why would they be a guild? That's all.
I had the same question. But then I just stopped asking myself it after a while.
That's fine. Lollipop Kids is much better.
I'm baffled. This is the one thing you question from this fucking movie. One of the weirdest movies ever. Why are they a guild?
Well, why are they a guild? Well, because kids sounds better. They are kids after all. They're
I always question those ones that come out of the eggs, like they literally just hatch at that moment. You never question that?
It's amazing. I love that part.
You know what? If you go back and watch it now, that guy hanging himself in the background, that's me after hearing this conversation.
I think it's a triple win.
How about that one scene where the witch says to her gang in the castle, she goes, half of you go this way, half of you go that way. And they all knew which half to go to immediately. Yeah. and then at the end, Dorothy asks for the broom. And he goes, can I see that broom? And the guy goes, please, and take it with you. Like, what do you think she was going to sweep the fucking floor?
Just like admire it and then hand it back. Yeah.
Can I see that broom? Yeah, take it with you. Yeah, no shit. Wait, why did she take the broom?
That was the Avatar of that day and age, man. Like that was like a game changer.
Oh, it's fucking.
You got to give that movie credit for what it was. From the black and white to the color to like just like the. It's just great. I watch it. I haven't watched it in years, but that's how imprinted in my psyche it is. Just because I can remember a lot of this shit.
Yeah, I love it. What a way to start off the show. Fucking. He was my favorite, the Cowardly Lion. That whole gimmick was great. Man. Scarecrow, I don't know.
Oh, look at Brandon. It's funny, look at his
Tin Man was
face.
kind of an asshole.
Until he got his
Yeah,
oil. Right, Brandon? Once he was all oiled up, he was ready to go.
He always rubbed me the wrong way just a little bit. Something about it. You know, he always remind me of the captain from the Love Boat, Gavin McLeod. Remember the captain, Captain Stubing? Did you ever watch the Love Boat?
I think I'm the Scarecrow, Brandon's the Tin Man, and you're the Cowardly Lion. I think that's
Dave
who
is
we'd
the
be.
fucking Tin Man. Let's be honest here.
Why am I the Tin Man? I mean, because he's
Just
an
called him
asshole.
an asshole. Just called himself an asshole.
You have no heart.
Oh, I wish I had no.
Oh.
Fuck. I had the biggest heart of them all. I'm a fucking crybaby bitch behind the scenes. Holy
Brandon
fuck.
and I would have both left lucky to die. I'm sorry to say
Yeah,
it.
see? How could I be a Tin Man? I say I'm lucky.
And I would have driven by going,
What a
unlucky.
horrible thought.
Hey, wait a minute. C is more of an asshole than I am. What are you talking about? I don't have.
He's a tremendous asshole.
a
That's because I have no
tremendous-
brains.
He can be. The
A
fucking guy.
tremendous asshole.
That's it.
It hurt my
That's
feelings. You know what? Okay, we're gonna get into it. I'll have to save it because
What?
the
What is it, our
birds,
top
the
10
bird special
1939?
effects, those bird special effects. I don't care if they're groundbreaking back in the day. Ooh, those haven't aged well.
Oh,
They
I-
haven't aged well, but you got to remember they're good for 1963, which is
I
fine.
prefer it now. I prefer it to fucking CGI nowadays, unless it's top-notch CGI.
I will say that, but I did find myself.
I like the
laughing
animation.
a lot.
Yeah, I did too.
Only the one
But-
scene when the kids are being chased, it looks cartoony. Other than that, I like it.
How about the girl laying on the floor and the bird pecking the back of her head?
It's hysterical. It's fucking, dude, I crack up. That's the only time in that movie where I laugh, but it's for like 2 straight minutes. That
I'm
is
not
nothing
gonna.
but-
I'm too straight. He had a timer on. It's like
It's a 3-second scene. He's laughing 1:57 past its end date. Its end point.
yeah.
Oh.
Well, we'll get to it. I'm sorry to bring it up, but yeah, animation. Yeah, you're right. From an animated standpoint, correct. I will meet you there, but it's still some laughable sequences.
It's odd. It's like they made a great character study, drama, comedy, and then decided to throw a horror film in there in the second half.
It's like From Dusk Till Dawn.
That's like, or any movie in fucking 2020 or 21. They all turn into horror in the fucking third act. And the first 2 acts are anything. That's what horror has become in many states. In many, don't you think? Just it's true though. Everything now is fringe. How many fucking fringe movies have you watched this year? Probably half of what you watched is a fringe.
Yeah,
B.
it's fringe. I shaved my fringe.
The fringe connection. Oh,
Yeah,
fucking
good. The
fringe.
fact that C's shaking his head like that means I told the joke perfectly.
Yeah, I love when the joke backfires on me.
Delete his episodes.
My only joke backfires right at me when Brandon opens his trap. Well, you're talking about VHS 94 being on your top 5?
Bottom 5.
Bottom
It is
5.
terrible.
Fucking bad. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's what I watched.
It's
This is
fucking
exactly
terrible.
what I watched. Well, here's what happened. But by the way, guess how many movies I watched from my top 31 to 31? 1 and 3/4.
31. Oh,
No, today is the
31.
10th. I have not had the time to watch. I've watched that movie as my second one, The Sect. I've watched 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. That's how I fucking watch movies now. That's how it's been this past month. So now, on top of that, what were we talking about? What movie? Oh, VHS. Here's what happened.
VHS. Yeah.
Check it. Frankie, we had a COVID scare in the house, actually. And Frankie got sick for a few days. And then I thought she was getting over it. Then she got a couple more symptoms that were symptoms of COVID. So here we got to get nervous. We got to go get the test. So now we go to get the test. I cannot get a fucking COVID test. Where I live, first and foremost, a rapid test doesn't even exist anywhere within driving distance. Cannot get it. Now I want it as quick as possible because I haven't told her school yet. She missed 2 days. And that was Wednesday and Thursday. I just called her in sick and didn't tell them why. I left a message because she was mad about missing school at all, and she doesn't want to be quarantined for 10 days and miss everything. And I said, well, unless you have to, we're not gonna. In the meantime,
You mean a free test? Because there's a place, the one I went to, that's right around the corner from your house at the University of Buffalo. Well, not right around the corner, but like 10, 15 minutes away. That you could just drive right through. That's where we got ours.
Dave lives at the University of Buffalo?
Yeah,
Well, I
he's a
don't know.
professor. Professor asshole.
Professor Skunk.
Tremendous asshole. Yes. So no, wait. What the hell was I saying? So,
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
No. I looked it up. I looked up rapid COVID test. Nothing. The only thing, and then the only thing that came up was I didn't put the word free or anything in there. I just put it in rapid test, and a couple that nothing was in driving distance. Anything else that came up, I put in regular test. Walgreens had drive-through for free, Rite Aid, CVS, right? But
Yeah.
I go there to check it out. Every single one of them, you had to make an appointment for the next day. This is Thursday afternoon. You can't go till Friday. I said, I want to know the results fucking, as early as possible.
In 10 minutes.
Well, not in 10 minutes, but...
By the time I'm done laughing at this girl getting pecked in the birds, I want to know the results of this test. You got 2 minutes, go.
Well, this was Wednesday.
It's the new egg timer.
Solid minutes, yeah. No, so it was Wednesday. And that's when I wanted to get her tested right away because she had missed school Wednesday, and then Thursday, Thursday and Friday were coming for school. So I'm like, let's find out. So now, like I said, everything was a fucking appointment. You could not get anything that day. Finally, I found one that said that day. And it was a quick care, like a fucking whatever those things are called, urgent care. So I went to the one by my house. It was further down, and and as soon as I get to the thing, it says appointments only for COVID test. I was like, motherfuck. So I got bullshitted on the fucking search. Then I went back and I saw there was one place. There was one place, and it's funny because it's closer to my house. It's called Well Now. So we went there. So I go there, I walk in, and I say, hey, listen, we can get tested today. They go, yeah. They go, the wait is about an hour to 90 minutes. Not a big deal. Fine. It was fucking rush hour traffic on the boulevard. So I'm not driving. So what I did was, Frankie and I walked down the road, got some food, fucking came back, sat in the car. I go, want to watch a movie? She's like, okay. So I took out my phone. I go on Shudder, and I see VHS 94. So her and I watched VHS 94, and we watched the first segment, and which I like. You know what the first segment reminded me of? Like an episode of Creepshow, like the modern Creepshow on Shudder. None of them are great, but they're all good, and I don't really regret my time with them. Like, yeah, that was okay. That was fine. You know what I mean? That's
me every Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was okay.
Regretting my time with you guys. Just
He hurts our feelings.
Man. See, he's the tremendous asshole.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short, Judge. Don't sell yourself judge.
The
short.
fuck the hell are you talking about?
You're a tremendous slouch. That's
that's where I got it from.
Tremendous
asshole.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's what I watched. The first thing of
segment...
VHS was fine, and I was 10 minutes into the next one when they were videotaping the funeral parlor. Yeah. So it was just about to unfold and maybe go somewhere, and then I got the call. Come on in, you could take her in for the COVID test. Negative, by the way, all is well. So that's what I saw.
Well now, all is well now. I think those are the people. They were great. They're really great. I'm almost positive it was where we went, and they said it was going to be $230 for us each American, because we had to see the doctor first. So we're like, thank you, see you later. But they told us where to go for the drive-through one. So they were not, it wasn't like they were like, yep, come on in here, Canadians. And let's make sure. They were very helpful at leading us, because they knew, they said that that doesn't make sense, but that's just our policy. That's what it is, because you don't have insurance and you're out of country. I said, I don't even think our out of country insurance would cover it. Yeah, it was a weird thing because of COVID.
Dirty foreigners.
Pretty much. But no, they were very nice, and they directed us over. I'm almost positive it was, well now.
Directed you right over the border. Right over this way.
Just head right back to Canada, you motherfuckers.
Right. You cheap prick bastards.
Those pricks, they fooled us. Fuck you, United States. Fuck you.
So VHS was that bad. By the way, Well Now was a lot better than Well Go. You can't get over that title. Well Go,
Well Go USA?
Yeah, that's all I do is picture a fucking, Well Go. I always picture like an uptight guy at a stoplight, and the fucking light changes to green. The person ahead of him just fucking isn't noticing, and the guy, Well Go,
Oh, that's me. That's me in the car behind him going, move it. The light's been green for a half a fucking second.
That's Russell Crowe.
I got the patience of a saint behind the wheel. I let them do whatever the fuck they want. I'm just like,
no, you can't do that. You don't, no road rage, but you gotta let people know when they're being assholes.
Well,
Except when the asshole happens to be like a psychotic prick, and then you're
Or
all of a
me.
sudden you're or you.
If you're the asshole, yeah. If Russell Crowe is eating Kirsten Stewart's underwear,
what?
Dave doesn't remember. David, I look how formula. He doesn't remember this joke. It was just like
that was the funniest joke ever. I don't know.
Russell Crowe. I kind of remember.
it's
something
such
about
a
that.
throwaway.
You said something like you thought he was gonna burp up her underwear from
Oh,
underwater.
yeah.
I don't know why, but it was just like it's always stuck in my head. It's really funny.
Well, I appreciate that.
I can't even fucking talk. I'm
Oh,
done. I'm
man.
out. Hightailing it out of here.
Yeah,
I tail it back to Mexico. Talk about VHS. I'm sorry. Let's
No, I don't want to spoil it for anything.
That bad? No, we're not
I've heard mixed reviews, and I've heard some people have loved it, and I was actually looking forward to it. I did think that the first story that you're referring to is the best story, and I like the little sort of homage to the howling in it, especially the way it ends.
it's a
it's
Shudder
quite-
exclusive or original. Like they produced it or financed it.
It's exclusively original to Shudder.
The reason the reason I'm interrupting you is because if that's the case, I'm noticing the ones that are produced by Shudder now. It's like the new, like just like every horror fan out there. And again, I'm going to sound like I am the Tin Man because I'm going to sound like the prick with no heart. It's just like nobody can say anything bad because now Shudder produced it, and Shudder is the holy grail of streaming services. So I think there's people out there other than Brandon who will say no, the movie sucked because the movie
I
sucked.
love Shudder. I love Shudder. Shudder's got some of my favorite movies from this year, but they also have some stinkers. And for me, this one was a stinker.
Yeah, I think I try to put them on this pedestal of not doing that, and yet they have just as much shit as they do good stuff.
All the streaming
You know why, though?
Okay.
This is why they deserve to be on the pedestal, because all their back catalog stuff is great.
They are
You know what I
great.
mean?
They're back catalog stuff, but I'll tell you what, and I'll say it again.
Yeah.
I think I've said it for 8 shows in a row. If you have limited resources, income-wise, Tubi is fantastic.
Of course, yes.
Tubi
Yes.
is fucking fantastic. I didn't praise it. I didn't use it enough for a long time, and then finally I'm like, you know what? The app's right there. Let me just click on it and see what they got. And I'm like, I find myself watching Tubi more than anything.
Told you, I was singing its praises when they had Blade Trinity as one of the the third one, the one that you didn't want to watch. But I remember when we were talking about Tubi. It is great. It's got a lot of garbage on it too, but that I can accept when I'm paying for something.
Right.
But again,
Right.
garbage to each their own, as we always say. One man's garbage is another man's treasure. Spooky.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the new slogan for the movie, actually.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch it, man. I have some time. I'm gonna really give it a serious sit down and say, let's see if this really
Serious.
is as bad as I thought when I saw when I was a kid, and as bad as these guys are making it out to be.
You got 2 minutes. Go.
It's on Shudder, right, or something. It's got to be free somewhere.
Yeah, it's
I'm
on.
not gonna pay for
I think it's on Shudder.
it. Okay, so I'll do
which
that.
one?
I think I'll watch.
Spookies.
Oh,
Spooky.
Spookies. Oh, I thought you were talking about VHS 94. I'm like, we just said it was a Shudder exclusive, but now I feel like,
Oh,
yeah, I think
I said
Spookies
I
is
wanna
on
give-
Shudder.
I
Open
want to give it a little
ears,
time and
Tin Man.
see. And I'll tell you what,
Sorry,
Shudder.
Dave.
I just paid for it. No, because I just got the. You know what I do? Because I'm grandfathered in with the old. I just paid $57. I paid for the year in one
okay.
time. Shudder. It's fucking the way to go. I was grandfathered in, and so I had a discount. Then on top of it, because I pay all for it all at once, it ends up being I think $475 a month or something like that. So why not? $57 one time for the year. I'll do it.
No,
Fucking
it's worth it. Even if you
great.
just use it to watch the new stuff.
true.
You know, you're probably watching 10 films from Shudder a year. You look at it that way.
Well, if you
$5
watch Joe
for it.
Bob, it pays for itself. You know what I mean? Because that's an event. People watch it every week.
I know.
So
I don't watch,
Which
I
I
don't watch Joe
not.
Bob. I
I
haven't
watch-
watched one episode.
Me
I
either.
watched. Really?
I was never a Joe Bob person. I didn't grow up with Joe Bob.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
either,
same.
but I feel bad for it now because when I watch, I'm like, wow, this guy's fucking great. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's also a good way to watch movies that I wouldn't ordinarily, maybe not be in the mood to watch. But I look forward more for when the movie cuts and we go back to Joe Bob more than the movie itself. So
Well, that was always the point,
I don't-
like even with Elvira, was that I couldn't wait to get back because I had to stop jacking off for like the 10-minute segment of the movie. So you're like just holding the tip. ready to pop. Like it's like champagne and going to be open.
Boom. Her and Rhonda Shear. Remember Rhonda Shear? Up all
No.
night.
That's why
I
I
don't
said I
remember
didn't
Rhonda Shear.
watch Joe Bob, because USA Up All Night was my thing, was my jam.
Well, it was a different time, though. It was a different time period and a different time of day with Joe Bob.
No,
Right?
I know, but I didn't watch. It's not like they were competing. It's not like everyone was on at the same window. I'm just saying I didn't watch Joe Bob. I was an Up All Night person.
I watched Rhonda Shear a little bit after hours. You know what I mean? But when Gilbert came on, I stopped watching it, and I never watched any of that stuff religiously because I watched fucking back then it was VHS or whatever. You know, and I
94?
94.
94. Well, it was so easy back then because I could tape everything. I could rent everything, and freaking I had the dual deck VCR, and or even if I had 2 VCRs, I would tape everything. So I would rent the movies, and I would have.
Oh,
everything.
Mr. 2 VCRs over here.
No, man.
Yeah.
What's
I
it
did
like
that.
to be in
I
the
said that
1%?
I said that one time. I'm like, guys, don't worry about it. This is in high school. I'm like, just off the cuff. I didn't even mean it. Guys, I can record this for you. I got 2 VCRs. I'm like, oh, Mr. 2 VCR, like as a joke. But I'm like, fuck. I've remembered it ever since. I'm like, you can't say anything to anybody. But have you guys checked out Kino Cult? Sorry. Kino Cult.
What is this, a movie?
Kino's someone I know.
Kino Cult. It's Kino's streaming service. Everybody's
I
got
didn't
a
know
fucking streaming service now.
No,
Free.
I can't.
It's free,
I got
though.
too many. Oh, it's free.
It's free. Oh yeah, and I downloaded the app. I mean, they've got more of the older stuff on it. Frightmare, a lot of Mario Bava stuff.
Oh shit!
They have Hatchet for Honeymoon. If you haven't watched it for 70s show yet,
I did.
okay.
I didn't.
Rawhead Rex. They're like
Rawhead Rex. Oh, Jamie's favorite.
Rawhead Rex in there. In Search of Dracula. A lot of classics. A lot of the old stuff that you can get on a lot of the free apps. Anyway, the ones that the old Bela Lugosi horror films and all that stuff. So
Are they high
it
def?
depends. I didn't watch all of them, Dave, so I don't know.
I didn't watch all of them.
Yeah.
I'm just
Here,
saying. Usually,
let me see if I can find out.
I'm sure they're high def. Kino puts out good quality products. I'm sure the streaming quality is just as good as their releases.
Because I have. Well, you guys got to use the app. I do. I go to the, what do you call it? I go to the Just Watch app, and then I type in a movie, and I see where it's playing, how much it is, if it's free, and if it's high def or not.
Yep, they allow. It goes up to 1080p. Sorry for cutting you off there, but I'm having a bit of a delay here on my end as well, so I apologize if I've noticed I've done it a couple of times. Yeah, 1080p.
1080p. Okay, well the thing is, that's good and it's free. Shit, because Tubi, it's free, but usually if it's high def other places, it's not high def on Tubi. That's the only thing is that it's good if you have nowhere else to go, any port in a fucking storm. But, that's the only issue with Tubi. I don't even mind the commercials because they're 90 seconds, they're quick. You can get up, you can go pee. It's perfect. 90 seconds of a commercial is acceptable. 3 minutes of commercial, like on regular TV and everything else, is completely unacceptable. I will never deal with that again.
Or 5-minute breaks or whatever they used to take. But the downfall is they repeat them all the time. I wish they would get more sponsors.
It's funny,
so that every commercial break can be different. That's the only.
Yeah. How many times do I have to cure my erectile dysfunction?
Once would be great.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Same thing with Hulu. Same fucking commercials on Hulu. Every fucking break. Every time. But again, they're real quick. They're 90-second thing. Boom, boom. It's over.
Wait, Hulu has commercials?
Well, if you want to pay for more, you can have them erased. But yeah, Hulu's commercial.
Erase my commercials.
Whenever I watch movies on Hulu, I don't get commercials.
Well, because you probably pay the $12 one. Like it's $6 for no commercials. Or pardon me, it's $6 with commercials and $12 without them.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, you pay and get commercials. Fuck Hulu. Glad we don't get in Canada.
They did.
I want a streaming service where all you get is commercials and the break is a movie. Like you get 90 seconds of a movie like every 40
and
hours.
I want to pay $15.99 a month for it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind
Hurry
commercials.
up, the movie's coming on. Oh man, we just saw a minute of VHS 94. Back to commercials.
Yeah. That's how the Super Bowl should be. It should be 4 hours of commercials and then the best play of the quarter. Just
Now, to be
spliced
honest,
in.
the commercials and the Super Bowl are equally as bad now. It should be all puppy
They're
bowl.
Super Bowl's great. The commercials are overrated. They have been great since the fucking mid-90s.
commercials. That's how I'm going to
They are terrible now. They used to be good, the commercials.
Yes,
There used to be decent writers behind them. Yeah. Now they're just fucking atrocious.
It's 2021. There's no fucking heart and soul anywhere. There's nothing. Everything's just a fucking, you know what I mean? Everything.
Advertising lost its heart and soul.
Well, I mean, yeah, but think about it. They did. I hate to say it. Yes, it is advertising, of course, and they are doing it to make money. But they still had fucking soul to it. You still remember the jingles from back in the day, and everything is erased now. Everything now is fucking boom. Everything is comedy. That's not good comedy, and everything's just there. Everybody knows about it. And it's just like. There's no fucking soul anymore. Everything is just here. Buy this thing, and then if it's not that, everybody's fucking bitching about fucking politics or something else in the world. There's no, you know, that I don't know.
It's almost like there's no soul.
There's just no soul. Who stole the soul?
Everyone take a shot every time Dave says the word soul.
Soul. Freddie took all the souls.
The souls. Yeah, man.
Of children.
Yes. Have you guys watched anything for this magical month? Because it's only 21 days till Halloween.
I've already watched Halloween 1 and 2 because I'm trying to get my daughter through them. So, yeah, and we don't have a lot of time since it comes out it comes out on Thursday here. I'm not sure if it comes out on Thursday for you guys as well. So it actually comes out on the 14th. There's some screenings.
What?
So I'm actually able to go see it Thursday night, possibly. And so it doesn't interfere with this 70s show with 22 shots that decided to do it on a Friday opening night.
Did you say Yosemite?
Yosemite.
Because of me? No. Hold on.
Yeah,
Yosemite Park. Because I want to watch it through the giant redwood trees. I just want to. They're making a screen out of fucking wood in the trees, and I'm just sitting there. I'm driving fucking 30 hours to see it, but I mean, it's going to be worth it. And 30 hours will only get me maybe halfway to Yosemite, by the way.
They won't get my money, those fucking cocksuckers. Here's the worst part of all. This is the part that makes me laugh. I was willing to pay $20 or $30 to fucking see it on VOD if they would have put it out last year. Now I'm paying fucking $4 on Peacock, which I already have it. I've already subscribed. So a fucking colossal mistake by some tremendous assholes at fucking Blumhouse. Because
Blumhouse,
they would have made.
This is getting very aggressive.
Money.
Very aggressive. I don't like when you talk about Peacock.
I don't even know where to go with it. Why are you shaking your head, Brandon? I thought you were actually excited to see this one.
I am, but it's like all you fanboys are just like chill out. Like you'll see it. Like, so what if you didn't see it Thursday? You see it Friday. You see it Saturday.
I'm not seeing it Friday because we're fucking recording the show Friday.
I'm looking forward to 1970
he's out of.
more than
Dave can't hear us.
All right, good.
I can't hear. I'll see you guys when I see you. I'll see what I can do. Hang on. Fucking cocksucking shit. Motherfuckers.
I don't know why his rage. I hope, Dave, I'm sorry, but it's funny.
His rage delights me. That rage was brought to you by AirPod Pros. Go out and buy a pair. Because everybody deserves to hear nothing during a podcast.
Put a smile on everybody's face. I love spending $400 on AirPods that don't fucking work.
Did you see somebody post about Benadryl? Somebody put a funny post up. It said Benadryl because you can't complain about allergies if you're unconscious. And I thought that was hilarious because if anyone's ever taken Benadryl before, you're fucking out for like 3 days.
I love it. Benadryl, NyQuil, all that shit, man.
NyQuil fucks me up. Benadryl I can take, but NyQuil, whew, you'll sleep for 3 days.
I love it. I fucking love that feel of just being. Something about being put to sleep in that fashion. It feels good to me. Like
with Bill Cosby over you with like a tissue.
Well, Michael Jackson used to go to sleep with it. He used to fucking, and I heard about it. I didn't know, again, what do I know? I used to say, before I found out about that, I go, man, that'd be a great way to go to bed every night. Put the fucking thing on and fucking do it and go to bed. Of course, it's terrible for you, and that's why
How did it work out for Mike?
Exactly. See, what did I know?
Come on.
Dude, I went into surgery. I got a couple colonoscopies in my lifetime, and I will tell you this: everybody fears them. I fucking welcome them because I love that feeling. Oh, I'm 100%. I love the feeling of going in and being wheeled in, and they put the thing on there, and they say count backwards from 10. And just for that 3-4 seconds, you get that euphoric feeling.
I thought you were talking about the tube going up in your ass.
No, it's just
They put that thing in. Okay.
What do you mean a tube?
I know, but-
They use a fucking pipe. He said he's a tremendous asshole. Remember?
Well, the best part is that feel you get, that euphoric.
Yeah.
You get knocked out. But then when you come to, you're groggy, but it's like nothing happened to you. I never had any pain. After
Pants
the
are undone.
colonoscopy.
You're like, what the hell happened?
Oh, he's waking up early. He's waking up early.
Shh, shh, give him more gas. Give him more gas.
I love it. I can't wait till the doctor says schedule a colonoscopy routine. I
just had my endoscopy, and I needed a colonoscopy too, but I only had the endoscopy done. And you're right, that is the best moment. You never make it past a couple of seconds of counting down.
Maybe I'm in trouble because I haven't had any oscopy.
What? At
Ever.
this age, you got to.
At this age, yeah.
You're supposed to start at 45. You're supposed to start getting colonoscopies at 45. Get on the fucking train here, man. Don't fuck around with that. You don't want that. You don't want any colon cancer.
You're done. You're not going to make it to see Halloween.
Right.
It hits that hard. I'll drag my fucking top half of my body to the theater to see it. I don't care. I'll cut it off at the fucking right at the ass.
Right. Can you live without an ass?
People do.
I wouldn't want to try. Like, just put like a big giant
People
pogo
do.
stick down here.
Nobody ever-
You never saw those guys that are like cutting
People-
hair?
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
Their legs are in.
You know what I mean? People are born that way. They stop at the end of their stomach. like that person they put in that movie. What the hell was that?
Freaks.
Well, Freaks, yes. But I mean, there was another movie that came out a couple years ago on Shudder, and there was a zombie and it was a half a body. But there wasn't makeup. That person was born that way, where their body stops like below the stomach.
Oh, like
they don't
Lady
have an
Gaga?
ass. Oh, I don't say anything about Lady Gaga. I don't want to know.
She was born that way.
Something.
Isn't that her song?
I thought you were gonna tell me this. Okay, I thought you were gonna tell me she was fucking
Cut in half?
had prosthetics or something like that. Yeah, because yeah.
Oh, man.
But right, that's the thing. There's people and they don't have an ass. You know what I mean? So you
Are
can live
you
without.
sure they don't have an ass?
How could
Are
they?
you sure they just don't have legs?
No.
What
Haven't
do
you
you
ever
mean?
seen
You
that?
think there's just a set of legs that are walking around with no top body? Do-do-do-do-do.
What are you guys talking about? I'm
No,
saying
wait
these people
around.
are born without legs and they have like a crotch and an ass, but they're they're little. Dave thinks they're just cut off at the stomach. Where are they shitting from? Their mouth?
I just figured there's a hole back there and that's it. I don't know. I try not to think about that stuff. You know,
Try not to think about it like it's hard for him to do. It's like,
Well-
shit, the assless people are popping in my head again.
I don't want to know, and the thought bothers me. I can't watch a movie like Freaks. I can't think about things like that. It upsets me. So I can't. I don't want to dig too deep into it. You know what I mean? But all I know is that you see people.
Speaking of digging too deep, did your colonoscopy go well?
I haven't had one in a while. I'm due for another one. I can't wait though, man. I get in there. I'm gonna hold on for that feel just as long as I can. Oh, I love it. What a way to go to sleep, man.
A split
Fucking
second.
Well, it's like 3 or 4 seconds, but it feels real good, man.
Doc, why is my throat sore? It was a colonoscopy. What?
We had to make sure everything went down there, Dave. We had to get it all out.
I wake up, my pants unbuttoned. You ever hear that one? The fucking the Jerky Boys one? The guy that got fucking molested at the dentist. I love that one. His name is Louis Rocco.
Does anyone use the gas anymore at the dentist?
Yeah, not nearly as I like it, but it's there. Yeah.
Oh, I've never been to a dentist that used gas.
It's there still. The tank is there, but usually if you go, you get the shot. Yeah, but
Yeah, I would love to do the gas.
well, I'll get you the gas. Fucking
I think the
nitrous.
gas is for the kids to avoid kids having to get needles. They're still using nitrous.
Oh, the gas is the fucking bomb. I'll tell you that. That's the best feeling you'll ever have in life. Oh, there's nothing better than that fucking big fat balloon. Hope I get one at a fish show. That's the only time I'll do one now. Is I happen to come across one at a fish show. Maybe one, maybe two. That's it. Back in the day,
This is just helium, you motherfuckers! I'll fucking kill you.
Which, by the way, I won't be able to see Halloween this year because I'm going to be at the fish. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be doing concerts on Halloween night. So I will not watch Halloween this year. It's like an off year for as far as movies are concerned. You know?
Yeah, I watched Halloween early.
I can't do that. It's got to be a
month
Halloween
early.
night thing. It feels wrong if I don't do it on Halloween night.
I'm watching it November 1st.
Perfect. And I want to talk about the 4K release, not the Scream Factory one, the original one, the other one that came out already. It's been out in the market for a bit. I have issues with it. I find that there's certain scenes that kind of seem a little out of focus. There's some that are super clear, and then in typical 4K fashion, I find that the motion's a little off. I think I prefer Blu-ray. I've only seen a handful of 4Ks that are great. Brandon, I want to fucking slap you with a dead fish. The band Dave's seen. I just talking 4K in general now. Listen, there's some issues with it. There's some issues.
4K
There's some.
Scam. There's no difference. It's a fucking Blu-ray that says 4K on it. That's it. The picture quality is exactly the same.
Depending on the movie. I'm telling you, man. I was having more issues with the Halloween 4K than enjoyment. I'm like, yeah, it's clear, but I don't really see the benefit over fucking Blu-ray.
Did you see Michael standing by the car or no?
No, in this one he was blurred. He blurred right out. I'm like, this retorted back to beta. What the fuck's going on here? Anyway,
Ben Tramer jumped out of the way in this one.
No, the 4K scan of part 2 is great. I actually like the 4K scan, but I'm just saying, actually 4K of Halloween has its moments, but for the most part, it was kind of underwhelming. Like, I don't know. Like, I've had that a few times with 4K where I haven't been blown away. Alien didn't blow me away. Christine was good. It didn't blow me away.
Yeah, Christine didn't blow you?
Not our Christine.
The movie.
Christine the movie. The 4K is the worst 4K I own as far as quality. There's no question of it.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But again, you can't be a mark. You have to look on the site and see if it's native 4K or if it's upscaled. There's a
native 4K.
No, we can't do those jokes anymore. I think you just lost Heather as a friend.
Yeah, watch out, please.
What do you mean?
It's Indigenous People Day coming Monday too. Although
we lost Heather as a friend. Heather was never a friend.
But you say he just a friend. Shit.
Yeah,
so what were you saying?
Sorry?
Halloween. I watched it last year for the first time I bought because it just came out last year, and I watched it on Halloween night. I quite enjoyed the 4K. I noticed that the again, it wasn't because it blew me away with everything about it, but there were a couple scenes like when Michael appears out of the darkness, in the house at the end and pounces on Laurie. You can see it a few seconds sooner. You can see him show up a little. I'm like, oh, look at this, little tiny things like that. But now you got me wondering. Now, please don't make me go out and buy the Scream 4K now, because if it comes out and people start saying the Scream 4K is actually better and it's not the same scan and it's different, I'm gonna have to
Scream Factory 4K because I actually thought you were talking about Scream 4K because I think that just got released too.
I apologize. Yes,
I'm just clarifying. Yeah.
But you guys aren't marks. Just go out and buy another copy of Halloween.
I didn't buy the first copy. It was given to me, so I feel very, very comfortable.
Yeah. When you're murdered by these people who are sending you the movies, you're freaking buried in a hole somewhere. Was it worth the free 4K copy?
It was cheap.
I'm thinking. I think 4K. There's just as many. Like even Scarface, it was okay. I didn't think it was a great 4K release. Evil Dead 1 and 2 have its moments. They're probably two of the better looking ones, but I'm not saying I didn't have any issues with them. So I've not been blown away by the 4K. Suspiria, that one was gorgeous. That one looked amazing.
Even the blue was gorgeous, honestly.
The DVD was amazing.
Whoever it was. Wow, I wouldn't say that. It was. I mean, Suspiria never looks bad, but
That's the whole point.
I want to get Dawn of the Dead and Demons 1 and 2, and then I think I'll be done with 4K.
Yeah,
I say
what
that.
we did. That's enough with demons. Stop putting out demons.
Well, they put out the double pack collector's edition. Now they're putting out single pack.
They put out steel books, this, that. I bought the steel books like 6 years ago. The steel books are
I have the
gorgeous.
steel. Yeah.
Well, you could sell the steel book for like $1,000 probably. They go for some
Could you?
mucho money. I don't know about 1,000, but you could sell them for a good chunk of
money?
change, maybe 250, 300,
What?
maybe.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm pulling the number out of my the steelbook demons.
Yeah, you could probably get like 60, 70 a piece for them.
Are you fucking serious?
I think
Wow,
more than that.
everything. I'll sell all my shit if
I have the original Mario Bava box sets still sealed, part 1 and 2 on DVD. Those are selling for like $200 to $300 a piece.
Sell them all. Sell them all, unless you really want them. Like, I'm not going to sell something I want, but I mean, if I can upgrade to 4K, why do I want to keep the old one for? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, you
know?
keep them for that.
Keep it up. I'm keeping it up. I like displaying my Italian works. I like my Italian collection.
Yeah, but you're still going to display it. You're just going to buy it in 4K or a different one. Cheaper.
No.
This is why I'm not a completist.
No, I won't do it. No, Kevin Bacon. No.
No, I won't. Yeah. And I'm not a completist, and I'm so, because I'll tell you what. I was thinking of it before. You mentioned Blade Trinity, right? I bought Blade Trinity years ago, and I was still lived in Vegas the first time, early 2000. To this day, I have not watched that movie. So why am I going to buy a movie? Because at the time I was a completist. I had 1 and 2, and I bought 3. Jessica Biel was in it. It's another Blade. I think Triple H is in it. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Let's check this out. Blade 3, Trinity, whatever. I've never watched it. So by being a completist, it hasn't got me anywhere. That's why I stopped doing it. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm just not going to. And that's why I'm not so worried about like Halloween 4K. What did I order? I already had part 1. I got it last year. And now Screen Factory put out the new ones. I bought 2 and 3. 3 arrived a couple days ago. 2 is arriving, I think, in a couple days. But I'm not going to buy 4 and 5 just because they're out there. Because I don't love 4 and 5 like I do 2 and 3.
I've got the Blu-rays of them. I don't really need them in 4K. I don't need them at all. I would like to see the special features. I saw the Dr. Death footage. Done.
I did too.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And so then I don't need the 4K version of them. But Demons new, Brandon, the Steelbooks, $200 inclusive of shipping.
Oh, okay.
Each. Demons 1 and 2, brand new. So opened or used, you probably could get you could probably still get them for $50 less. Because people still want them.
Oh,
and that's what they're listed for, but that seems to be consistently listed for that. And if they're not listed for that, they're listed lower because it's an auction, but then the shipping was ridiculously priced. So once you add it all up together, they're going to get $150 to $200 for them. So, but there's always ones like that. You never know. What's the problem?
Do you guys remember when we did Demons 1 and 2, when we reviewed them here, and I said I had the Demons Blu-ray and something was wrong with it, and I forgot what it was, though. There was something wrong when I played it back. Of all fucking blues to have a malfunction. I can't remember what it was, but
I thought there was a recall on it or an update disc, no?
Really? I don't know.
Was it a playback or was it there was one that had an issue with the Italian dialogue not being either subtitled or dubbed. Like there was an issue and they had replacements, but I'm not sure if it's for the set that you've got.
I'm gonna break it out and look. It's Demons 1 on tin. Steelbook, whatever the fuck they call it. Tin is probably what the collectors call it. The fucking, I got the tin. Do they say that, B? I know you run with a lot of that crew.
Collectors are the marks, and I don't mean this in a negative way because I know there's no other way to put it because they know like a collector can't say no. This is why I'm like I didn't have this Friday the 13th collection a year ago. I had the regular DVDs and I got that Blu-ray set, and then I'm like. And now I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I was out of this. I stopped it. Why am I going back? Yeah. Well, I'm only doing it. That's why I said I'm not going to get on the 4K bandwagon. I said, forget it. I mean, if I hear some good stuff, I'll grab it. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard like Bird or like I'll get the Bird with the crystal plumage or whatever if they're good.
I got the
I'm assuming they are.
I never need to upgrade that. I like the movie, but I never need to upgrade. I don't care if the Bird's in 8K. I'm not upgrading it.
It depends on the movie. Honestly, it's not going to be any old movie. And some are great and some are not great. And I wish I could go through all of them and tell you which one, but some surprise you. You're like, oh, I wasn't expecting this one to blow me away, and it did. I have certain ones like that. I'm like, this is a great 4K. Well, it happens. And then
I only own one 4K. I haven't bought a lot. I only own one. I only own Us on 4K.
Oh, so do I, actually.
That's the only one
I've
I
got
own.
A Quiet Place as well. And
I think
that
I
one
do
looked
as well.
great.
Can't hear a thing on that one, I heard.
Kept sending it back.
Oh, did you guys do the list for the summer series, by the way? You said you were going to do it.
Oh, fuck, I totally forgot.
I did too. Next show.
I totally forgot. Yeah.
There's no time. There's no time on this show anyway. We got fucking 3 movies to do. You know, it's okay. It's all right. Well, next show. Next show, we're only going to have 2 movies. We don't even know what we're doing. Hopefully Halloween. Something Halloween related, at least. But we'll leave that up to you.
This is
Are we recording next week or no?
Yeah, I have to, because the next week I'll be gone to fish. It has to be next week.
Ice fish?
2 shows next week.
Yeah, old school style. Now you're living the life of fucking Derek and Venom and all these other, and Mike. Now you're one of the big boys. You're doing 2 shows the same weekend, which I swore I would never do again. But for the 22
I don't even like doing 1 show a week.
Do we have a time? Do we have a time on the Friday?
No, but it's probably, this is the way it always is there. When moods, I think it's, usually it's like 5 o'clock our time.
No, 5 o'clock his time.
No.
Our time.
Our time, it's nice, because he's ahead. So it's 8 o'clock.
It'll be 2 o'clock his time. He's behind. So it's 5 o'clock his time. It's 8 o'clock our time.
But no, just listen to me. We always do it early. That's all I know is that anytime I've done 22 shots, it's at 5 o'clock our time, 6 o'clock. It's early, and we're done by like fucking midnight, 1 o'clock our time.
Yeah, Moods will start early his time. Moods will start like 2, 3 o'clock his time.
Okay,
but it'll still be like a 5-hour show.
Of course.
But I'm looking forward to it. Listen, all I'll say about this for 1970, I still have 3 more films to watch. I'm going to hit an even 40. I was very selective. 37 watches so far, 9 films, 8 or above.
What?
9 films, 8 or above. I knocked it out of the fucking park with 1970. I did 1970 like you do your year ends.
Right. Yep. Feels good, don't it?
It's rear ends.
It's rear ends.
Of course, this guy prefers 2021 to the fucking 70s now, I think.
Me? Or Brandon?
You.
I love that. You know what? I wound up having a great time with 1970, and I'll tell you this. I don't really want to spoil anything because I don't want people going to my letterbox, although by the time this comes out. But 7 of my last 9 watches for the 1970 show are going to be on my top 10.
Nice.
So I saved a lot of heavy hitters, and even though a lot of them were first-time watches, they turned out to be great for first-time watches. So
well, there you go. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. And 2021 is fine. It's, to me, it ranks with the 2017. It ranks with last year. It ranks with maybe the weaker of the years we've done since we started podcasting, but I don't think it's any less than those.
It's just odd. Nobody's talking about anything aside from fucking, like I said, when I listen to Heather and Scott do their show and I listen to Mark Nano, but usually you hear things throughout the community. Again, I'm off Facebook now, so I don't hear shit, but still, I'm not hearing anything. We would always hear, there's this indie gem. It just dropped here. Everybody, you got to see this. Or Jamie will text us in group text and say, hey, you guys got to check out. I'm not seeing that this year. Every other year, there's all these recommends.
Because everybody's off Facebook.
And we blocked Jamie.
Smartly. People are, I'll tell you what, Banana Laser is completely off Facebook, all 3 of us.
Oh, I blocked Banana Laser a long time ago.
Poor Banana Laser. Those Halloween specials aren't going to be heard for the first time ever. And people asked about them.
People are upset, and I just laugh right back at them. I'm just like, for 2 straight minutes, actually.
Now,
is
it true? I heard Oz deleted the Banana Laser episode.
Yeah.
The great and powerful. Yeah.
Oz actually interjected himself into the episodes. Now he's a 4th host. He's re-releasing the Mystery Science Theater style. He downloaded them all, and now it's just commentating as if he's part of the crew. He's calling it Skeleton Crew Banana Laser.
Are we reviewing a fucking movie right now?
He's got to be borderline suicidal.
Pulling at me.
I'm pulling. Are we getting to these fucking movies? We got 3 of them. I gotta be out of here. I gotta start driving to dance class in about 12 minutes.
Yeah. Man, I
I
hate
gotta
you.
start dancing the drive class in about 12 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say something. The
No,
guy's
say
probably
I was just kidding.
no, the guy's probably half suicidal. He's probably half suicidal right now because he's Mr. Convention. There hasn't been as many conventions in the past due to COVID. He may be dead. Have you talked to Oz recently? Has he survived the last year?
About a month
He
and
may
a
have
half
off-
ago via Messenger,
Okay.
but then that was the first time in like 2 years.
I'm just happy to know he didn't off himself because it was a year without conventions. So I'm glad he's
I'm
okay.
going to a convention.
Did conventions start? Did conventions seem like they've been going for the last year? No problem in the States.
I'm going to
especially
one
in
in
Texas.
2 weeks.
Where are you going? Monster Jam?
A Monster Mania.
Cherry Hill? What did he say? WrestleMania?
Monster Mania.
Monster-
WrestleMania. Yeah. WrestleMania.
WrestleMania,
Yeah.
yeah. WrestleMania 5, the Ultimate Warriors fighting.
With the Iron Sheik. And Andre the Giant's coming back. Hologrammed.
The Iron Sheik versus the Milk Sheik.
Milk?
Milk Sheik. Shake.
The Milk Sheik. Duncan
Oh my
Sheik.
God. Wow.
Duncan!
Woo!
Yeah. Dave, that's a better joke. The Iron Sheik versus Duncan Sheik.
Yeah.
That joke I like. Milk Sheik fucking bombed.
My joke, horrible. The
My joke is horrible because I'm lactose intolerant.
who are you going with?
Ah,
I'm going with my buddy and his daughter. My buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah.
There is one in
I'm
Niagara
not-
Falls, Dave, but you got to get that COVID test to get over. I'm not going. It's at the end of this month. I'm not comfortable to go to conventions yet because I think they're all going to be shit still. I'm going to wait another year until they're all better because the Fan Expo has been delayed and now they're thinking of opening it and having it up. And
You got a lot of good guests at
Next
this
year.
one, but
Who's
I don't
going?
know how many autographs. They got it's a lot of Michael Myers, Nick Castle, James Jude Courtney,
fucking fanboy.
Don Shanks.
Thanks for the memories. Just
I'll get him to sign your 4K Shanks with the memories.
bring him a picture of Nick Cage instead of Halloween 5 Michael and see if he signs that for you.
I want to get them each to sign the wrong mask. I'm gonna get Nick Castle to sign a Silver Shamrock. Yes.
Yeah, Nick Castle's yeah, like a skull.
Well, he was in that.
Right on the mask.
Oh no, Nick Castle was in it. It was Dick Warlock was in
Was?
3.
No,
So-
no. Oh yeah, but Nick Castle was too on the screen in the bar.
Oh,
Immortal
true.
Yeah, see.
Oh, see, you learn something new every day about Halloween.
And Jamie Lee Curtis was on the mic.
Not according to her.
Yeah.
Dave, is this
Uh,
Facebook ban going to be permanent? Because there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
I don't miss it at
Banned
all.
From Facebook.
Huh?
What?
Who was banned from Facebook?
Not banned, but I said, is he banning himself from Facebook in the sense of like, no, because I've got to now add people to the group. It's all this
I
extra
told you
fucking
this
work.
last week. If you want me to come back just to activate it to do things like that for a day, I'll do it. I'll be glad to help out. Of course.
I have not approved a post in 4 years.
I don't believe that.
I don't-
Get a free for all. I don't give a fuck.
I don't
I
do
don't
anything
believe
anymore.
it.
I
Get a
barely
free
want to
for all.
talk
Let
to you.
Peter in there for all I care. Fuck
Peter?
it. Do it. Yeah, isn't that the guy? He's one of the guys that got banned from our group. Peter. Remember the fucking hamster guy? Whatever the fuck his name was.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot him.
Peter.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Whatever
German
happened to
fucking
him?
Hamster. Who fucking
hamster
knows?
king.
Maybe he offed himself. He might have. Who knows? He might have been, or he became the next fucking what's his
I don't
name?
want that thought rolling around in my head.
I don't
Luca
want it to
Magnotta?
happen, but I had nothing to do with it, so I have no guilt.
It sounds like a delicious Italian dish. Next time I go to an
That's what I
Italian
said.
restaurant, I'm gonna order the Luca Magnotta.
Oh,
Yeah.
stuffed cat.
Actually, don't tell me. I never finished it. I will go back to it eventually because
You know, don't. It's not, especially being a cat lover, you don't want to deal with it.
No,
Although the cat
no.
part is,
The
but
cat's at the
I
beginning.
saw the cat parts
Yeah.
already. The first two. That's why
Oh.
I kind of fell out because I don't give a fuck as much about the murders of people. Not that I don't give a fuck, but I'm not.
Jesus
The cat
Christ.
thing to me was the most fucking. It's what sucked me into it, and that's what pulled on my heartstrings more than anything. I mean, people get murdered all the time. You hear about it. You don't often hear about people fucking whacking cats. You know what I mean?
See, that feeling of whacking a cat is my nitrous oxide. It's my.
See, at least I can laugh about it.
If you made it past that part, then it turns into like a murder caper. Like that's.
I know, right?
So you're past the bad part.
It's not as intriguing now. That's what I'm saying. It's just like so. And when the cat things did happen, not only did I look away, I also muted it, so I didn't see it. Me and Frankie, we said we won't watch them. We went back. You know, I don't want to even hear a fucking cat meow. Nothing.
I didn't want to see it, but I wanted to hear it. I was like, yeah, scream, baby.
It's horrible. Holy fuck.
I can't wait to get it in 4K. I hear you can see the cats dying a little bit earlier in the 4K.
The lighting is primo.
Yeah, you see Luca come out of the shadows a little earlier to strangle him. Oh god!
You see
we
every
never do a
fucking.
fucking movie.
Yeah, we got to do these movies. You're right. Yeah. But see, at least I can laugh about it. Some people are so uptight, and I tell you, there's a lot of cat lovers. I am a cat.
We call those people assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still laugh at that joke. I don't give a fuck.
We call them Tin Men.
I'm not a Tin Man.
I'm not a Tin Man. I won't be a Tin Man. The way that came out. I'm not a Tin Man.
Let's remake The Wizard of Oz. Not a Tin Man.
I won't be a Tin Man.
Holy shit. Okay.
Like, do we have any movie we start with? I mean,
we're doing the Animal Trilogy. We're doing the Animal Trilogy, not the Animal Trilogy as our general. We're doing the Ram Man Animal Trilogy.
George the Animal.
Is there any rams in movies? We should have thrown in an extra one with a ram. Is there a ram in a horror movie ever?
Oh, Black Betty, Ram a Man.
Black Phillip? No, I guess there's no rams in horror. I guess not. It could have been cool. The Ram Man Animal Trilogy. Plus, we'll talk about Ram. Isn't that new movie? What's it called? Lamb?
I understand you've been running from a man that goes by the name of the Ram Man. The Sandman. Song by America.
From a man that goes by the name of the Sandman? What is that? Do tell.
It's a song. It's a song.
That's what they say? What song?
Isn't that Sandman by America?
Sandman? How come I don't know this song? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, man. I can't remember.
Who names their band America? What a stupid name.
What about a horse with no name? Is that even worse?
Can we review a movie? I'm getting
to a fucking desert with a horse and no name. You're in the middle of a fucking desert. The least you can do is give him a fucking name.
Well, it's like
America. Call my horse America.
Oh, Scumerica. Okay. I don't know where that came from. I'm not a Tin Man. Okay, anyway. Let's do this. We're doing the Ram Man's Animal Trilogy. We're talking about the birds. We're talking about the, what's the other one? The Orca, the killer whale, and the Grizzly.
And the Grizzly.
Be a Grizzly. Yep.
I won't be a Grizzly.
Which my wife and son came in for the scene at the end and said,
I knew you were.
Laughed their head off and said, this is the best fucking movie ever.
It's so funny because the first time I saw this movie, this is the second view for me. The first time I saw Grizzly, I didn't take anything from it because I was waiting for the sleeping bag death, which I was misinformed.
Prophecy.
I know, but for some reason in my mind that was in fucking Grizzly because I'd never seen it. So I was waiting and waiting, be a Grizzly. And I was waiting and waiting. There was even a sleeping bag they show at one point. I'm like, hey, this is going to be it. So because I couldn't stop thinking about this fucking sleeping bag death, I couldn't pay attention to the movie. And then it got to the end, and then Frankie came downstairs and saw that part with the bazooka or whatever the fuck and reacted to it. She goes, look at this. And I couldn't even pop for it because I was still upset about it, not seeing the sleeping bag kill. So now I'm watching it yesterday. She comes down the stairs. I go, Frankie. I said, do you remember this? Look at this scene for a second. I go, do you remember seeing this? And then she said, no, I don't remember seeing this. I go, how could you not remember seeing that? Well, whatever. That was it.
Oh, I got to show you guys something. Look.
Get out of here. We're talking about the birds.
All right. Look how sad he looks.
He looks mad.
He looks sad. He looks like he's pouting. And he's got, according to Christian, he's got Scott's puppy dog nose from Evil Dead.
Oh, the puppy dog.
Evil Dead nose.
All right, what are we doing here?
The
All right, my computer's frozen now, so now I can't even get to the... All right. What are we doing, the birds?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's start off
the
with
birds.
The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock, 1963. A wealthy San Francisco socialite pursues a potential boyfriend to a small North Carolina town that slowly takes a turn for the bizarre.
Stocks.
When birds... What?
Stocks. A potential boyfriend.
Stocks. S-T-O.
Stalks him. As in, like, she's a stalker.
So they,
Oh, is it
Stocks.
celery? Celery stocks?
yeah, I thought she said stocks, like the stock market.
Yeah,
Stock.
what?
Stocks.
Stalks.
Pork bellies? What? Stocks?
Yeah.
You sound like Cyndi Lauper just now. He sounded just like Cyndi Lauper when he said that. Pork bellies. Stock. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I
You
sounded
ever-
like,
yeah,
I've never
Cindy
been-
Lauper.
Sorry, listeners.
I sound like Cyndi Lauper.
I gotta
but-
find that thing and drop it. I'm telling you, she goes, "What?" On wrestling one time, she said it. Oh, it was. Sorry.
All right, so the trip takes a bizarre turn when birds of all kinds suddenly begin to attack people.
Birds of a feather. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And she could stalk me any day. Oh my lord, Tippi Hedren, fucking circa 19 fucking early 60s. Madonna mia.
Should have seen the tip of my head. Oh,
Yeah, I
what a
have no
woman.
problem saying she's absolutely gorgeous, yet I don't think she can act to save her life.
I didn't notice.
talking
She
about
reminded
her
me
acting
exactly
is
of.
fine.
Yeah,
Her
it
acting's
just
not
reminded me-
fine in this
she-
movie.
What are you
It's
Really?
very
talking
wooden.
about?
It's very wooden.
Really? She reminded me 100% of Janet Leigh in Psycho. The delivery of lines, even the look sometimes. I felt like it's like Psycho and the Birds. Again, I haven't seen all of these Hitchcock movies, and maybe I should. I love the way Hitchcock writes with these conversations and stuff. He keeps me engaged in these conversations all the time. But the writing, like when she was delivering lines, it reminded me of Janet Leigh in Psycho. It was weird.
Maybe she took a page out of that, because maybe that's why I didn't like it, because it just seemed maybe like a caricature or something. I don't know. She came across very
Maybe
wooden. And I
because it
showed my
wasn't
wife.
Halloween 5 in
No.
4K.
Yeah, I showed my wife the opening scene. I said, "Listen, let me see if I missed anything here. Look at the setup to the story," and she agreed with me. She said, "Yeah, it seems very
She's
forced
stuck
and
with you
odd."
the rest of her life, so she's just agreeing with you so you'll
No.
stop talking. That's it. I'm telling
No,
you, that's it. I'm telling you. No, she won't do that.
No,
I'm not a good man.
you know, just because something's been held in high regard for a long time, I used to love this movie too.
I don't-
Doesn't mean
the bird-
it's a classic. It doesn't have to remain a classic for everybody. Some people will just always see it as a classic, like Dave does Halloween and you don't, Brandon. This is a very good movie, but it's
That's
not.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't look at it as an Alfred Hitchcock classic, but I don't think the problem with it is Tippi Hedren's acting.
Well, this is what we do in the show. Well, I'm going to skip over it. I thought she was a wooden actress in this movie. I didn't
You
like.
know what?
I didn't
Yeah,
like her.
This was a retelling of Pinocchio, I think.
Yes.
That's
She
why
was
it's
very-
so wooden.
She was
Yeah.
very attractive, but for the first half of the film, I was not remotely engaged with her, and I thought her motivation and the actions to get her to Bottega Bay or whatever it's called was ridiculous.
Oh, I loved it.
I love it. It was very playful. You know why she's in trouble. That's why she meets a lawyer in the first place, is because she's in trouble for doing all these pranks and all these
Boy, she really
this
comes across as a
nonsensical
jokester.
stuff. Well, no, she's changed her ways. That's the whole point. She even elaborates on that throughout the film. She's back in America. She's trying to get her life together because she's been a rich, privileged brat most of her life, and she's trying to. But she likes this guy, so she wants to be playful and bring the lovebirds to the island to get to the sister.
Change their ways.
I think it's. Yeah, I
Right.
liked it.
Rod Taylor's a good-looking guy. I would bring him lovebirds.
She could bring me lovebirds. I'll tell you, I loved it. I loved her motivation. I loved it when she's on that boat and she's driving up. She's got that smirk on her face. And then she sees him and she drives back. I mean, this woman has confidence. She sees what she wants. She wants to get it on with this guy. And she's like, yep, I'm going to do whatever I want because I got gold between my legs. And I know it. And I'm like, she's like, mm-hmm.
Was that a line in the movie?
No,
See, I thought the character of the mom, his mom was much more convincing and much better. I love her character and their relationship. It's it's much more interesting. Yeah.
That's why I feel like it's almost like not even a horror film. It's almost about like two like immature young adult love story, like where they have to mature and grow up. She has to stop being this socialite brat and really figure out what she wants in life and be an adult. And same thing with him. He's got to stop living in the shadow of his mother and seeking her approval and basically stand up to her and be like.
So what's the moral of the story then? There's no point to change because in the end of the day, there's nothing. Like at the end of the day, there's no arc. There's nothing, and it ultimately is like a doomsday. They're leaving, and it's like the end of the world.
We don't know that. It could be over. I found it interesting the line at the beginning when she calls him a louse in the pet store. Because I never knew what a louse was, so I looked it up. And, I knew a louse meant like a despicable person, but I looked it up, and it's actually a parasite that feeds off of birds and makes birds sick. So I wonder if
that why you get deloused when you go to jail? We're going to delouse them.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. So I wondered, like, is this supernatural? Is this a cautionary tale of man versus nature? Or is there a logical explanation that you could take away from this? Because it's happening locally. At the end, when you hear it's happening in other areas, it's other areas that are close by to Bodega Bay. It's not like we're getting reports from New York, London. It's not like that. So it's like, is there some sort of parasite going around in this area? Is the water tainted?
I don't care. I love it. I love these kind of things where I say it all the time. Where evil is afoot for no reason, it comes in and just as quickly as it came in, it leaves. I love things like that.
Let's not say it came in quickly. Other than a couple of segments, it's the 50-minute mark. I think 50, where I think it starts to change, to shift.
But that's good.
Into that.
But I'm saying one day you're sitting here and everything's fine. The next day, birds are randomly attacking people, and they do it for a bit.
I'm just saying it took a long time to get going in the movie. I wasn't saying it was.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's character stuff. You learn about the characters in these movies, and that's all you need to know. I mean, some people complain when you don't know anything. At least I cared about the characters. And
I did too. That's the saving grace of the movie.
Right, that's what they set out to do. You get enough background of all of them, including Annie, the school teacher. You have these four characters. You have the mother, you have her son, and then you have the younger sister, but whatever. And then you have Tippi Hedren, and you have Annie. You have these people, and you get what you need. You get their backstory. That's all I need in a movie. I don't need to have an arc or this moment where something happened. To me, that's realistic. We get enough conversation and know who these people are. Like the three of us were in a situation. Maybe there'd be conversation to learn a little bit about who we are. And then at the end, if one of us gets killed by birds or one of us doesn't, the movie ends.
And I think the characters are all changed for the better and more mature and better people and have learned from their mistakes at the end of this movie.
Well, in the original ending, there's more with which wasn't put to film, but it's on script. You see the mother. What is her name? I'm sorry.
Jessica Tandy.
Jessica Tandy, right? It's the actress.
Lydia.
Okay, so you have Lydia having a few moments with Melanie, because after Melanie goes through all that crazy shit, and she's like fucking bugged out at the end. They go on the ride and they drive off, and more things happen, and this and that and the other stuff. There's a few moments where she's freaking out because of what she's been through, and she gets scared, and she leans on Lydia, like puts her head on her shoulder, and Lydia comforts her. They have this moment where they
don't they have that in the car? Isn't Lydia's holding Melanie in the car when they're driving off at the end? Yeah, she is.
Okay.
I really wish she died. I thought that would have been great.
Lydia?
That attack.
Melanie.
Would
have been better. I agree.
And when they pull her out, she actually succumbed to the attack.
Yep.
That would have been great.
I agree.
I like when she wakes up and she attacks him. Get off.
Yeah, that's funny. That's
it's funny, but it's actually kind of realistic. Like you've gone through that trauma, and they've gone through the trauma numerous times, from the sparrows, shooting through the fireplace. I don't know if they're just sparrows, but it seemed like a bunch of different birds. So there's certain sequences with the birds that were very effective, where you could tell it was I'm not saying it's not Hitchcock in the other scenes, but when it comes to the animation and whatnot, that's where it gets dated and again, using what they could do at the time. But the simpler sequences, like her sitting down at the bench and a crow or a blackbird coming and landing on the play thing behind her. And then another one in the day of night. And then another one flying in. And then when she turns around, before you know it, it's just covered. That scene is fantastic. That's great. And so like there's some when they're pecking at the door during the final climax part, terrifying. Like that's the scariest part in the movie for me, is when you just see the door and they're pecking at it constantly. I'm like,
even just the sound, that's really just effective. The audio.
There's no music.
Yeah.
There's no music in the movie. It's all just bird sounds, right? Like
don't even need it. Yeah.
Well, sometimes it sounds like a cat attacking, like they change it up quite a bit.
Crazy. I agree.
Yeah.
That's the scary stuff to me when they're doing all that stuff. It's crazy music playing.
That sounded like it. It actually sounded exactly like it, to be honest. Very cat
like
attacking.
Luca was at the door.
But I love that stuff, man. I love the freaking the bird, the crazy bird noise. It keeps you on edge. It's freaking, man. That's freaking terrible. I really enjoy this movie. I think it's great.
And you're right about every character being important, even Annie. And I feel like Annie's such a tragic character.
Yeah.
Because she's the victim of Lydia and Mitch's sort of childlike behaviors. Because Mitch was definitely in love with her, and she's obviously still in love with him, but he wasn't mature enough to stand up to his mother at the time. And that's why she fell into the friend zone. And I know, I friend zone a lot of people. Trust me.
I've been there, but you got to tell them.
Don't go crazy, Brandon. Would not even consider you a friend.
I'm not talking about you. I don't even like you. You're a fucking tin man. Like a bunch of fucking tin men here. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think about what Christian doesn't like about this.
He's
I'm not fond of her performance, and she's a main character through the whole fucking thing. I'm not necessarily fond of her motivation or everything that you're saying is playful. The whole script to lead up, I get it. It's there. That's the movie we've got. I don't like it.
He's playful with her. She's playful back, and it just sets up the story. It just
but I find it forced, and I didn't like it. I was just like,
I don't know. I've watched a lot of 40s like Hollywood black and white films, and this is romantic films, and this is very typical of that. And I think that's what he was going for, that sort of like 1940s feel where like, oh, I'm going to play, I'm going to pretend to be someone else, and we're going to fall in love, and then to mix in this sort of, is it supernatural? Is there a logical explanation? Horror story right into the middle of it. It's just it's very unique to me.
The unfortunate thing with Birdemic and all these stupid movies that come out, the effects are horrible in those, and yet you look at this now, dated. I get it. I try to separate it, but it looks pretty bad in certain sequences. Pretty damn bad. And there's no other way to say it. It was because it's 1963. So I can't say it doesn't look bad. It does. That's just the way it is. I'm laughing at it, but there's some effective moments within there. In fact, the school chasing scene, I'm not necessarily against. It's when they go balls out crazy in the town. I do like her when she's in the phone booth, but it goes on a little too long. I wish they kind of trimmed it down somehow.
Oh,
come on, that's an iconic scene. Don't take away the phone booth scene. Trim it down.
Love that.
Just
today they'd be on the cell phone. Hold on, I only have one bar.
No, it just goes on. It just goes on a little too long, and then again, the house is good. It's fine. They needed a final set piece for it. The interactions in town were good. I like when they're in the bar and she's like, "Well, you keep it down. You're scaring the kids." Like that stuff's all good.
Oh, I love that whole scene with the bar.
Yeah, that's
all
a great
conversations.
Scene. Yeah.
It is a great scene.
The conversation with Mrs. Bundy when she talks about the numbers of birds and how they outnumber humans like 100 billion to like 7 billion or something like that.
Yeah, it's great.
Like it's terrifying.
And at that point, I like her somehow. And by that point in the movie, I'm over I don't like her acting. Something changed at the halfway point after the romantic part. Okay, so then maybe that's it.
It's
So
like
maybe it is a good performance, and I'm just not appreciating the first half of it. I don't. But I'm just.
She's like a child. She's like childlike in the beginning, and then at the end, you notice she almost takes on the mother-like quality with Kathy. Kathy goes to her instead of her own mother, and she's comforting Kat. Like that's where I saw the maturation of the character.
And I like
And
both sides.
you're probably right. That's probably like exactly why it's there. That kid actor was actually quite good.
That's Veronica Cartwright. All these people went on to have or were either big stars then or went on to have like big careers. These are like all well-known people. I do like. It is kind of funny, but the guy smoking the cigar and blows himself up. Boom! I love those cars from the old days. Those are like the ones where you hit the bumper of the car in front of you and 4,000 cars explode.
I love that.
It
But they
was
got the
good. That was a
siege
good
thing
scene.
at the end, man. They
The
got the siege narrative going on towards the end. They have them. That's what I like about it. When they change locales, they have the first scene early when they're in the house. I think it's a great scene when they come in through the chimney and they're going all over the house and all that crazy shit happens. Then they leave there. Then they're at the bar, and that's when they have another siege narrative. I feel like I'm watching fucking Tremors or something. You know what I mean? Then at the end, when they go back to the house and they're boarding, it's very like Night of the Living Dead type stuff, except it's birds. But I like these kind of things, the siege narrative, but they also come out of it for a bit, and they have the adventure here and there and all the chasing. And I have no problem with the effects. I would rather watch a movie like this than a lot of movies nowadays with the CGI.
I agree.
To me,
this
that's
was the best they could do given the time, and I recognize that it's 60 years ago, so
there's a
fine.
charm to it. Maybe it's just me. To me, there's a certain charm to it. I would rather see that.
That's the way to put it.
Shit CGI.
It terrified me when I was a kid. I wouldn't say it's terrified now, where there's certain movies that have kept that fear factor up at least a little bit. But there's some good sequences. Like I love the reaction of Jessica Tandy's character when she goes to see her friend and he was attacked and his eyes have been pecked out. That's an image that was imprinted on me at a young age that stayed with me and always terrified me. And her reaction thereafter, she can't even speak.
That's a horrific image for 1963.
Yes, it is. Well, it's like Mrs. Bates.
Yeah, exactly.
The eye, the decay. Yeah.
And look, it almost feels like a really long Twilight Zone episode, even when they're having the scenes at the diner where the woman who had the kids is blaming Melanie, and she's like, "You're evil. This happened."
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost, it has a the town turning against her type feel. It has comedy in it with that one guy, the drunk guy. He's like, "It's the end of the world." He's quoting all the scriptures like it's the end of the world.
It's great. That's what I love about that scene. All these different, because that's real life. You get in a bar or a restaurant with somebody, and you got a dozen people. That everyone's going to have their own perspective. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. And then this guy believes this. This person says this, and I don't know. I love those conversations. That's what I'm saying. Hitchcock. Was he the writer as well? Did he write?
No, it was Du Maurier.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Daphne du Maurier wrote the story originally, and
I know that, but I mean,
Evan Hunter did the screenplay.
So the dialogue in this movie and in Psycho, which I'm quite fond of, apparently that's something. Okay, Hitchcock didn't write it, but they are his movies. He probably insisted on it. And as far as Hitchcock goes, I really wish he would have been born later than he was, because he started making movies in the 30s. When I watch movies like 20s, Psycho, and I'm watching Marnie next because Tippy's in it and she plays a different role, and I really want to see her in that type of role. But it's like, I wish that he would have started later, because I think he would have done some more amazing stuff in the 60s and the 70s. I really feel that he wasn't able to do some things that he wanted to do in the early days because the film just wasn't allowing it. And you see all these great things coming on in this time period. I don't know. I wish he would have lasted longer. Or I wish maybe someone else could have come in and made movies like him. And I don't mean like De Palma movies that look like him. I mean movies that are written this way, this type of story, and that get this kind of gnarly look sometimes with the gore and the stuff like that. Because he didn't hold back for his time,
Well, Hitchcock's probably one of my favorite directors, and that's why. And who am I to question it? But there was even times in the movie where, and don't get me wrong, because it's not throughout the whole film, but there are some weird framing choices, like the framing of the person in the middle of the screen as opposed to the side and whatever. And they were done on for a reason. I don't know what his reasoning was. I can't interpret it. So it just comes across as awkward framing.
I think it was to anger you.
Well, no, I'm just trying to be honest. I look at my IMDb. I had given it a 9 out of 10 back in the day. Nice. I'm not as high as a 9 out of 10 though.
I don't think I've ever been as high as a 9 out of 10. Jesus, I'm defending this movie, and you might give it higher than me.
Maybe it's because I've come across from this thinking it's heralded as like one of the big Hitchcock films, a masterpiece, if you will. And I've got like Psycho, Vertigo, North by Northwest, and Rear Window. That's my.
I agree that all of those are better than The Birds. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Birds was there though. I used to put that as my fifth one. And just rewatching it now, I guess maybe I've just seen it the least amount of times. I'm like, wow, there's like all of those are 10 out of 10s to me. And The Birds is like The Birds is an 8 out of 10. The Birds is an 8 out of 10. And I was just trying to pull stuff out of it that I noticed this time that I again, maybe because I've never watched it as critically than this time for the show, but I was just like, wow, it starts very pedestrian. I do like the no soundtrack aspect to it. I wasn't fond of the acting, like I said. I don't want to beat a dead horse that has no name.
In a desert.
But ultimately, yeah, there's some effective moments, no question. And that just the imagery of the door with the pecs and the beaks coming through, terrifying.
Beaks.
Yeah.
They were originally going to call this Beaks. But
there is a movie called Beaks.
But the other movie named Beaks came out.
Yeah.
Travis Beaks.
Clarence Beaks.
Clarence Beaks, sorry. Clarence Beaks, yeah.
Monkey, I'm a gorilla, you clown.
And again, great promotion. Hitchcock was ahead of its time for being like a kind of a marketing kind of genius, being like pretty much the star of the film, even though he's the director, which I love and respect.
His schnauzers were the star.
Well, I'm not even talking about the cameo. I'm just talking about like, the iconic. I think the picture that's more iconic than anything from the movie is him standing with the birds perched on him.
Yeah.
For him promoting the film. The icon that you'd see if I turn my camera off.
Did they have crystal plumage in the poster?
Yeah.
Oh,
they did.
Perfect.
He hightailed after that one.
I hate you.
He left so we could see the bird on his head. It looks like
no, but I also hightailed it up because of that joke. It's like perfect timing. Boom.
See? It all worked out. I love it. I think it's great. The suspense. There's not a lot of movies that I can watch with a run time like this that I'm into the characters and and the dialogue. A lot of times, like, again, when we talk about the 1970 movie, one of my gripes is that there's a lot of unnecessary dialogue in a lot of movies from 1970. To me, all the dialogue in this movie is pertinent to the film. And I don't think they could have tightened it up. Or in other movies, I'll say they could have left this out. And another movie we're going to talk about later. They could have left. They didn't need this much dialogue to expound on what they were doing. But everything that happens here is pertinent to the plot of the film and the characters and everything else. And it's spliced in perfectly with just the right amount of danger. We get the danger, we get the stuff coming in, and that's that's the aspect I love. Nowadays, if there was a movie like this, it would be an hour-long barrage. There would be something in this place, then they have a couple of characters over here going through it. These birds, and that's what I love about it. They attack, they telepathically communicate, whatever. They do their thing, then they regroup. Then they get together and they plot and they said, okay, we're gonna, and then they all decide to go at it another time. Something about that makes it more realistic to me too. But it just works better in a storytelling sense for me. I just like it that way because then you get the dialogue again and you get to see the characters change positions and have conversations and the suspense of it. And that too, when they're waiting for the birds to attack. The impending fucking doom of them coming. When's it going to happen again? And then later on when they're that I love the climax and everything else. And then when they're walking at the end quietly. And of course the infamous scene with the school and all the birds sitting on the, the jungle gym, which was amazingly parodied in fucking High Anxiety. If anyone hasn't seen it, by the way, Mel Brooks. It's amazing. But then you have the comedy of it. To me, that's that 2 straight minutes of comedy. When they do attack and when they attack that kid's party and they start popping balloons. The first time they popped a balloon, I popped. I thought, oh, that. And then it happened again.
Did you do that arm thing?
Those were fish balloons.
Oh, yeah, they had nitrous on them, yeah. So, and then when they had the kids literally on the ground, kicking, like moving around, kicking their feet, and there was a bird pecking the back of their head. That was fucking comedy gold to me. Oh, God. That shit, it's just my humor. It's just something about it being kids. And the bird attacking, the big beaks. But anyway, that's the only time I laughed. It's just that, that small scene. But, man, I really liked it. I liked it more than I thought. And again, I only seen it once before, and I enjoyed it the first time. And I'm slowly gonna work my way through Hitchcock now. I know it's like it's a big blind spot. Even though I own like almost all of his movies, I just haven't cracked the seal on some. It's something I need.
You're a completionist.
No, I'm not a completionist, but I have to be in the mood to watch a Hitchcock film. You know what I mean? And of course, you can't forget the stuff later on when one of the little girls falls. What happened to her? She just broke her glasses. I cracked up again. The girl broke her glass.
She even says, that sequel just body slammed me.
And later on when they're having that conversation, and the woman in the bar says, there is very definitely a difference, miss. She tells her when she saw the difference between a blackbird and a crow or something like that.
Yeah.
But I love that scene is great. That scene is great.
Yep. There's lots of old moms in this movie too. Did you notice that? All the women that are moms look like they should be the grandmothers.
It's like, the time period. Everyone always looks older than. I mean, that was then. Like
Mitch was 35. That's the perfect age to be the mother to a girl, a school age child.
I know, but they're supposed to be like kids in this movie.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's odd. Same thing like in Jaws. That's what Frankie said when she watched Jaws. She's like, how come all the mothers in this movie look like grandmothers?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know. But
times were tougher.
I guess so. But I really liked the movie. I knew eventually somebody was going to put the blame on her because as soon as she showed up, it happened. I don't know. Like I don't watch all those 50s movies with the animals attacking and the aliens attacking. So I can't say. But for my money, from what I've seen, this seems to me like it's kind of a first of all these animals attacking in this type of movie where it's played this way. I could be way off, but
I think it's given the highbrow status because Hitchcock directed it. Again, I know I'm coming across, my tone on this is very negative, and yet I've given the movie an 8 out of 10. But I'm just saying, it's because of coming from that classic standpoint and trying to pull stuff from it. And sometimes this is how we do it. I really enjoy this film. As I'm just pulling the negative out, and I think Hitchcock being involved again elevates it, so it's not like a giant tarantula attacking film from the 50s. It's got some clout now, and I think he liked doing that. I think he liked going, okay, you know what? We know he did that for Psycho. Take what was considered kind of like smut.
I don't remember
and
a giant tarantula in Psycho.
Yeah. It climbed up the house at the very end.
Was it taxidermied?
Yeah.
It came to life. That'd be a Psycho movie. They can make everything that Norman made one day came to life. I'm surprised they didn't do like an Amityville.
Like a Bates Motel show? Or a show every week. Something else. We zoom into the taxidermied animal and then we tell its story. Speaking of which, there is taxidermied animal in our script. Just so you know.
Good.
A skunk by the name of Cecil.
Really? Cecil the skunk? Hey,
yeah.
It's gonna be on on the tip of everybody's tongue. Instead of fucking hunky boys and greasy fucking artist, whatever the fuck people are
greasy artist. Yeah.
Whatever the fuck, goblin cheddar and all that shit. It's gonna be fucking
goblin cheddar greasy artist.
This is better. Cecil skunk will be something that people will gravitate to. You can do it.
Anyway.
One more funny line is when Lydia's on the phone with that guy talking about the chicken feed. And she goes, I don't have fussy chickens. I love it. What are the movies someone going to say fussy chickens?
It's like reminds me of that. Sorry.
That was 1963's bullshit artist.
Yeah,
everybody was walking around with fussy chicken t-shirt. Fussy. I can't fucking talk. I fucking ruined it.
That should be our new. If we ever do a podcast that's not horror related, we should call it Fussy Chickens.
That's great, Fussy chickens. Wow.
Have you ever heard the Jerky Boys call where he's like, "Hi, I'm calling about the seed. The seed I bought the wild bird seed. He's making my birds go crazy." She goes, "Well, that's the." He goes, "Well, what are you talking about, sir?" He's like, "You bought wild seed?" He goes, "Yeah, that's the thing. It's wild. It's making my birds go wild." And he wanted just regular seed, not wild seed. He wanted regular seed.
That's amazing, man. Wow.
I gave it no justification to the call. And funny thing is, the call goes on way too long, as do some of their calls. But the gist of the call is hilarious.
Being negative again.
Anyway, you were raving about it, D, and then you said you haven't given your thing.
I'm raving. For me, it's a 9 out of 10. I think it's fucking fantastic, and I really want to watch the making of. After the movie ended, it was the last movie I watched last night. I feel bad because I watched the alternate ending. I read some of the script. I watched Tippi Hedren's screen test, and there was some other stuff, and she's really cool in real life too. It's almost like her personality. She's very playful and sexy. But anyway, I'm watching her, and then I said Making of the Birds or something about along those lines, and I started it, and it was an hour and 20 minutes long, and I was like, fuck. I really wish I would have watched that at some point because I want to know more about the making of it. Honestly, all three of these movies, I'm interested in the making of them because of what's up with the animals. You know what I mean? And getting them to do what they did, which actually elevated one of the movies completely for me with that. But it's a 9 out of 10. I think it's great.
It's weird. I'm giving it the same rating Christian does, but I feel higher about the film than he does. I love the characters. Yeah. No, I get it.
I don't want to steal your thunder, sorry.
No, I think it's great character development, great building of tension, great sort of. You don't really. I mean, you never find out. So, is it supernatural? Is there a logical explanation? But I like that sort of Twilight Zone feel, and this was right, at the tail end of the Twilight Zone. So it fits perfectly with that time period. I think that's why I love it so much because it feels like an extended Twilight Zone episode.
And that's valid. And again, I'm going to be broken record, but again, I just attacked this review a different way, and I pinpointed right out of the gate on the negative, which probably it wasn't the best way to do it.
That's fine.
But
it happens. You come out that right.
And I'll be honest. Watching it this time, there was a period of time where at one point where I'm like, is this movie ever going to fucking end? I enjoyed everything I watched, but it is a little long. But like Dave says, dialogue-wise and scene-wise, I don't see where you could cut it.
Yeah.
Maybe the tire scene, the tire next to the birds. Like, all right, pick this up. Pick this up. We don't need to see a bird walking next to a tire for 20 minutes. Let's go.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
It felt like 20 minutes.
Okay. We're going to take a real quick break, come back, and bang out the next two. So we'll be back on the flips.
I'm going to get a drink.
There you go. No. Listeners, check it out. 22 shots. We're all going to be there. I don't know when it's going to come out.
It's going to be an interesting show, though, because of the fact that besides Bird with the Crystal Plumage, there's really no films from that year that are huge standouts in the horror community. I guess Valerie and Her Week of Wonders is a well-received film. I had never seen it before this show.
Oh, wait, I haven't watched that. Do I need to watch it? Is it a horror?
That's the thing. It's definitely horror, but it's very avant-garde. It's even reviewed as being very avant-garde. It's almost like
you're not selling me on this.
No, it's gorgeous to look at, but it's like it's like a almost feels like a sexual awakening, but it's like it's like tidbits, but there's tidbits. It's like it's not like a one cohesive story. What's the thing where it's like pieces?
Oh yeah, or yeah, I know what you're getting at.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. It's almost like segmented. I'm glad I saw it. I will eventually watch it again, but I personally kept it off my list. But that's the only spoiler people.
Okay, is she very pretty too, Valerie? Must be, right?
Yeah, beautiful young girl.
1970, man. Every movie.
Yeah, everyone is gorgeous. Everyone is gorgeous. Yeah.
Honestly, speaking of that,
yeah.
Eugenie. Did you guys watch Eugenie?
You know what? I had it on my queue because I still do the discs from Netflix, and it was on there, and it said very long wait, and I kept it in there, and eventually they removed it, so I had no way to watch it.
I watched it. I don't have anything. Oh, I'll let you know.
I put it on my list to watch because someone, I guess it was Dave that raved about it as a one to watch. That's a horror for sure.
Well, I didn't rave about it. I added it to the list of something to see, and I'm not raving about it. I'm just saying that there is a beautiful woman in the movie, and there's a sexual awakening going on in it, and that's what I started thinking about it. That's all.
I will say
like
this. I didn't see it. I will see it at some point, but I'm very happy with the films that are on my list right now, and I do have one more spot available that I'm hoping to fill this week before the show.
Well, I'm in a perfect
Just a quick follow-up. Tippi Hedren. That was her first movie, The Birds. It was introducing Tippi Hedren.
And did she name Melanie Griffith after her character, Melanie, in this?
Oh, that's her mom?
Yeah, Melanie Griffith's her daughter. Dakota Johnson's her granddaughter.
Oh, that's right. Kate just told me that the other day about the pedigree that Dakota has. That's right. Son of a bitch.
Was it wild pedigree?
Don Johnson, Melanie Griffith, Tippi Hedren.
Okay. I want to see Marnie more than anything now because of what I know about that character and her being the role in it, because it came out just a couple years later. So Hitchcock must have fallen in love with her right at the Birds and stuck with her, you know? So, but that's it. Did you guys see Marnie or no?
Yeah, again, way back when.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to see Marnie and Frenzy again. Those have been the two Hitchcocks on my next to watch list ever since I listened to Jamie and Brian go through their Hitchcock collection.
I want to see Marnie in a Frenzy.
And I haven't watched either. I remember liking Marnie. It was, again, being younger, it never really caught my attention as much. So I don't think I've watched it in the last, I haven't watched it in the last 10 years. So I'm hoping maybe that will help me.
If I've seen Marnie, it was a long time ago and I have no recollection of it, but it is also considered a classic, you know.
Well, I want to see it for Tippi as much as anything.
Tippy Toes?
Tippy Toes, yeah. My first
dog.
Anyway.
Watched Rebecca earlier this year with my wife because she had read the book.
Reinhardt?
Yep, Rebecca Reinhardt. She wanted to see. I go, is this the Noxzema girl? She read My Noxzema Life was the book that she read. So then we watched the Rebecca Reinhardt biopic.
Noxzema
Rebecca Gayheart.
Oh shit!
Rebecca Reinhardt is Rebecca, who was on the show. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
I didn't know. I thought that was a joke. I didn't understand. I'm thinking, what were you watching? Children of the Corn? What was that movie?
Yeah, Sharks of the Corn.
Here's my joke.
Rebecca Gayheart.
I just clicked in though, because if you didn't click it, I'd be like, yeah, idiots, Rebecca Reinhardt, Noxzema.
I was gonna be like, I know Rebecca's doing horror movies. I didn't know she did Noxzema commercials.
She's propelled. She's all of a sudden on fucking Hulu commercials. Noxzema.
Is it me or is it hot as hell in here?
It's hot today in the headquarters.
Because you're coming in hot.
Anyway, Rebecca, my wife read the book, so we watched both versions because there was a remake done. And not a bad remake, because again, it wasn't a remake of the Hitchcock film. It was just a retelling of the book. But Hitchcock's, that was a great movie. I think that was the one that got, I'm not sure if he won Best Picture, but it was his most celebrated film awards-wise. And it's funny because it was very, very good. But again, I just lean towards that.
He's also one of those directors that was very successful and had awesome films in so many different decades.
I know.
In different decades, and he danced around in genres.
Yeah.
They say thriller, but
TV.
Did a great thing. Alfred Hitchcock Hour and Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Much better than Freddy's Nightmares or some other shit that they've done. You know what I mean?
I have the first 4 seasons of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I never bought the rest of them, but man, that show was great.
Yeah.
Even the 80s remake or the 80s redo, because I think I didn't know it at the time, that I think they redid the original episodes. I think they were remakes.
And different ones.
I didn't know that. I just thought it was I thought it was just a redo of the show in this.
A re-re.
restart.
I thought it was just a
restart.
re. I thought it was just a
Re-
re. I thought it was just a re.
A Rebecca.
A Rebecca Reinhardt, a Rebecca Gayheart, a Rebecca
By the way,
heterosexual
Rebecca,
heart.
Congratulations on your book. I didn't know Rebecca wrote a book. So.
Yeah.
My Noxema life.
You said Rebecca.
Honestly, I was just looking
credit.
up Sharks of the Corn on IMDb, and it turns out that movie was funded with the Noxema money.
Yeah, they put it on the Sharks. Yep.
Sorry, Rebecca. I met Rebecca Gayheart, but that's.
I wonder
I didn't even meet Rebecca Gayheart. I meant the movie Rebecca, and then Brandon chipped in, and I went on a whole tangent. I didn't even meet any of it.
Gold.
Oh, I want to know how many times that's happened to her. Rebecca Gayheart, as people call her Rebecca. I mean, Rebecca Reinhardt, how many times she was called Rebecca Gayheart in her life by somebody.
Let's bet on it now. I bet 0.
You know what? Even though he said 0, I'm still betting the under because I believe no one has even thought of saying that to her.
Okay, well, excluding this, obviously.
Yeah.
So previously to this, 0.
I disagree. Some guy thought he was funny, or some person and made the comparison between Rebecca Reinhardt and Rebecca Gayheart. I guarantee some guy has said. Telling you, guys are ridiculous.
You think anybody's ever sung like a Reinhardt cowboy? What's the over/under on that?
None. I'll say
0.
Big fucking goose egg?
Less than 0.
Less than 0. Good movie, good book.
All right. In the words of Christian Luciani, are we going to review these fucking movies?
Yeah,
please. God,
right.
please.
Sharks of the Corn. Oh.
Sharks of the Corn, starring Rebecca Gayheart, Rebecca Reinhardt, and Rebecca from Alfred Hitchcock. Okay. Grizzly from 1976. An 18-foot tall grizzly bear terrorizes a state park, leaving it up to a park ranger to save the day. Man, the poster for this is great. Can you imagine?
I love it.
Can you imagine if the bear was really that tall?
Oh man, I wish they wouldn't have said that. They didn't need to say that it was that big. But when you see it, it's not that big. It's a big bear. But
I appreciate that they're using like an actual bear, so it looks great. Awesome, and like the shots of nature and the way it's shot is fantastic. But
a POV bear.
Oh yeah, slasher bear, Giallo bear, Gialli bear.
Gialli bear. He puts on black gloves in one scene.
There are some funny scenes where he's killing people, where he looks like he's just hugging them.
Yeah. He looks like the most lovable bear that they filmed a horror movie around.
He does. He looks so sweet. He looks like you could just lay on the ground and just cuddle with him.
Listen, I Dave Z'd this movie. And what I mean by that, I wasn't interested in killer bears. I don't know why. I never gave it a time of day. I'm using Dave Z verbiage. I just didn't care. It escaped me all this time. I'm like, I'm not going back to it now. It popped up 2-3 years ago. I can't remember what we were doing. If it was,
we did the year of show. We did the 76.
That was what it was. Okay, it was the 76 show. I watched it then. I'm like, this is a lot of fun. It's a fun movie. It's not high art. It's just fun, and it's for a PG movie. If I did see this as a kid, it would have terrified me and definitely scarred me for life.
Look at the note that I put on the
POV bear.
POV bear was my very first note.
POV, that's hilarious. I can't. Friday the 13th.
Yeah, POV Jaws music, Friday the 13th style scene. Yep, blood and gore. It was like a Friday.
It was gory, PG movie.
I know it's
very gory.
PG and gory.
Yep, insane. How much gore they had for a PG movie.
Limbs flying, just fucking.
You can't see that now.
No.
On a PG movie, no chance. No chance you're gonna see a limb fucking fly off in blood. It's not gonna happen. It's crazy. Man,
there's more
blood. There's more blood in this movie, PG from 1976, than there was for fucking Friday the 13th Part 7, and it was rated R.
Yeah,
and that's a fact. It's crazy.
Maybe if Jason was in a bear outfit. With a hockey mask on top of the bear.
Fucking
At
empty.
that point, why not? Friday the 13th, Part 7, Grizzly, Jason.
Grizzly cheese. Yeah, that's what the
bear
new
comes
one.
across the mask in the.
Well, I never saw the sequel to this. I didn't see Grizzly 2, but I hear it's bitch tits Grizzly.
Grizzly 2.
Well, that just got released. Didn't they just get released this year?
Yeah, I think it did just get released this year.
I heard it's horrible, but does that count as a 2021?
It's like everyone who had that Mickey Rooney film. Not Mickey Rooney. Yeah, Mickey Rooney did a film they came out like a year ago or 2 years ago, but it was made like 60 years ago, and everyone's like, does this count as a 2019?
Or the amusement park as well would be another one that you could use that excuse for.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good film.
Yeah. But is it
was
horror?
good.
Story.
Yeah, I guess
It was good. It was good. Yeah, it's definitely horror, but it was good.
Oh, okay.
Felt like a Twilight Zone episode.
Oh, nice.
That's what it felt like. I would dance around on that line as well, but that's a perfect comparison as well.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone episode. But yeah, this is just a lot of fun. I mean, it's on Prime. The print on Prime was not the best. I don't know why. It looked very grainy and very patchy and weird. And I know it's a low.
Even the bear
film.
was patchy. I noticed he was missing some. It's like, why is this bear so patchy? Does he have alopecia or something?
I love when they're in the helicopter and we see them like there's two scenes where they're in conversations, yet they insist on putting them in that helicopter radio voice. Like we couldn't just have them speak regular dialogue. You had to hear like, yeah, Roger, he's sitting there, I see the bear like down there. He's sitting right beside the guy. We're in the helicopter with them, but the whole scene is done with them through radio speaker voice.
Yeah, I like that speaker voice. Something about that. And the music, the intro, something about it. It's a very, I love the intro music, and there's a certain shot that definitely, it's a shot from The Shining that Kubrick took later. I'm sure somebody caught wind of that as the movie's going on when they're panning across the water and the mountains are there. It's just
Kubrick watching this movie.
I bet you Jamie saw it. I'll tell you that right now. I bet you she saw that. So, oh, wow, that's like The Shining shot. I don't know. But this is like, again, I watched it first thing yesterday morning, and this is the perfect Saturday morning horror movie. It really worked out. There's a comfort feel to it for me. That 70s music and the intro and the way it's shot and just something about it. And I have the Blu-ray. Problem is this: there's no subtitles on the Blu for some reason. And there were a few times it was needed. For the most part, it was fine. And I switched back and forth between the mono and the fucking and the 5.1 surround because I think sometimes it's better to use the original audio for clarity and stuff like that. And I did. But there were a few things that I couldn't hear. And the music is really loud in the other one. If you put it on surround, it's really good score actually. Is this the one that has man, I forgot who did the score. It may not be anyone worthy, but either way. I enjoyed it. It was comfortable. It was a comfortable Saturday.
You might be thinking of Orca, where Ennio Morricone
That-
did the score for that.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. Orca.
Yeah.
And Grizzly. And he lent his hand to Grizzly too.
Honestly, I'm so shocked at how, like, not shocked, but sometimes you put on a random movie and his name pops up. I wouldn't be surprised if he scored like every fucking movie ever.
It's crazy. He does it all. You're right. Yeah, it's fucked up. But another movie with likable characters. I
Very
like the
likable.
characters in this movie, and I care about these characters.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Obviously, piggybacking off the success of Jaws has the very similar feel with the three characters. I feel like if there's one downfall, it doesn't really have that climactic moment with the three of them, where you know, like on the Quint's speech on the boat has, you know, with Brody and what the fuck? What's Dreyfuss's name? Why am I drawing a blank?
what? Whose name is?
Richard Dreyfuss in Jaws. Why am I?
Oh, Richard.
Hooper.
Yes.
Hooper. It just doesn't quite have that moment. Like it builds like this is going to be the three with Kelly, with Scotty, and Don, the helicopter pilot. Like the three of them are going to have the moment. But in the third act, they're sort of together, like they're going out for that final hunt. But they just don't seem to, like, even though it's fun and it's beautiful and the ending's hilarious and great, it just doesn't seem to have that, you know, that last final push that elevates it to to great status for me. But it's still a really good film, a really fun film, one I could watch over and over. But it falls apart for me a little bit in that last 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
This is fun. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. I mean, I didn't realize, I just read this trivia as I was going to get the guy that did the score, or the person that did the score, but ultimately this was the most successful independent movie at the time for 2 years, until Halloween took the title from it. It was made for $750,000, and it scored $39 million or something like that. And then Halloween dethroned it 2 years later.
I had no idea Grizzly was that big a hit. Wow.
Like, we joked about it looking like the bear's hugging people when he's killing some of them, but the funniest kill for me is the woman, the wife in the tent. What is he doing? It looks like he's swinging her by her.
That's what I had. My note.
Like upside, like she's like up, like she's the wrong way too. It's like wee.
Yeah. See, it says "rocking lady" back.
Fun ride.
Rocking
That's
lady.
what it says. Yeah, that was the only thing that was a little odd. But
it looked like he grabbed her by the feet and he's just swinging her back and forth. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's great though.
Oh, for sure. You know what? I really like the whole Scotty thing. It's a great fake out. You know what I mean? What they do later with Scotty. You think he gets killed, and he gets buried in the stuff.
Oh yeah.
He fakes out. He does a good job of pretending, and then at first you think you're gonna get robbed of a good kill, but then it happens anyway. Like,
yeah.
Oh, that is the perfect way to do it. Let me think that somebody got killed, then fake me out, but still deliver the goods after.
It's a good scene. It's effective because they set it up earlier, talking about that grizzlies will bury the bodies to come back and feed on them later.
Makes sense.
And so you think, like, when he wakes up, you're like, oh man, he got lucky. How did he survive this?
Right.
Not realizing that the bear's right there.
Maybe that's what Jason was doing to Ali in part 3. He killed him to come back to feed on him later.
Muhammad?
And Ali just woke up. Yeah.
Muhammad Ali?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, stop talking.
Robert O. Ragland was the music or the composer. He did a lot of B movies.
Was that one of Ennio's pseudonyms, or?
Yeah, that was one of his. Well, he did 10 to Midnight, The Supernaturals. He did Q. He's done a lot of movies.
What about The Winged Serpent? Did he do that?
Yep.
That too. Man, no, I like
and the
it.
kills. The kills are sad. When they kill, when they kill the girl and the guy and the other ranger who's like in love with her, and they're together.
Yeah.
Like, it's so sad, and you're like, man, I hope he at least has a good life from here on out. Maybe he'll find love again. And then they fucking kill him at the tower.
Yeah,
that was the best scene of the movie, though.
Dude, that's a great scene. That's a great scene. You think, like, where are you going to be safe from a grizzly bear? Like, all the way up in that tower, you feel like you're going to be safe. But did you see how it was built? It looked like it was built with fucking Lincoln logs.
I wish it was like only 18 feet high, and the grizzly bear just walks right up to it and goes, ah. But it was great. There's a lot of effective moments within this. It is a Jaws ripoff, as is the other movie that we're going to be talking about tonight. Yet it works as just a fun Jaws ripoff. If you're looking at it for the technical merits or whatever, you're going to be you could pull this movie apart.
I don't think there's that much wrong with it. I just feel like it misses out on a few opportunities with characters, mainly our big three coming together. It's sort of like it needed like a big pep talk right before the third act kind of crescendos, but also I don't know.
There could have been less of that hunting stuff, and the guys walking around, and a bunch of beer bellies walking around town.
I didn't mind the hunting part, especially when the one hunter like is running and jumps in the river, and he's like, Jesus!
Oh yeah.
Jeez! he's sprinting, and that bear, he jumps in the river. But the love story with Kelly and like the
girl,
the owner's daughter,
yep.
Like
good stuff.
But they showed for like 20 minutes, and then she's like not in the movie anymore.
It
was very strange. It was almost like they had stuff there that they could have developed more and added more character development to, but you
They
know,
probably trimmed it down to get that 90-minute, like, okay, we don't need any more. Let's keep this thing flowing type thing.
but it's fine. Like, it's Grizzly.
They French eat her. They did. They actually French eat her in this movie. I never thought about that. Where did she go?
Yeah,
Wow.
right? She's gone. Like, completely gone. You don't even see her at the end. You would think, like he would have a reunion with her at the end. He just lost all his friends.
Well, it was because it was such a great 70s ending where literally that whole scene where the guy's like 2 feet away from him with the missile launcher, he blows the fucking bear up, and then credits roll. And then the credits roll. It's like you barely get a breather from the explosion. And it's like doo, 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 and then the credits go. And that's great. Like 80s, like 70s did it, and 80s. There's certain 80s movies that did it. Usually they freeze framed on the thing and then they did it. But I love that too. It's just such a weird thing. Okay, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
There's no after scene or anything else.
Why didn't he just get that gun out right away, the missile launcher? Why did they go through all those motions when they got there? First and foremost, I'm watching the movie, and I'm thinking, how cool would it have been if they did the old Dawn of the Dead decapitation here? Because the bear's standing right next to the freaking helicopter. I'm thinking, wow,
that would have been great.
Chopper on, whoosh, decapitation of a bear. I don't think it's ever been done on film before, and if it has, probably looks like
and Tasso can play the bear claws.
Without any makeup.
With black gloves on, Jolly style.
Yeah.
Jolly Bear.
Jolly Bear.
That would have been great. But the reason they don't do it is because then there's no build to the kill. It's no differently. I remember, have you ever seen the movie Resident Evil, where that guy like jumps over? He's in that one room where the laser security system comes, and he jumps over it. Then he ducks under it, and the laser security's like, "Yeah, fuck you," and then puts this like mesh security laser, and it zooms down and just slices him in half, slices him into pizza. Well, why not just do that out of the gate?
Right, 100%. Waffle them. You're right.
Waffle laser them out of the gate to avoid anybody being able to jump under or over your lasers.
You do get you get the horse decapitation. Scotty's horse.
Oh, that's
rides up on the bear. Yeah, that horse.
Godfathered.
Yeah, Godfather.
Yep, the old Jack Waltz. The Jack Waltz special. Isn't she beautiful? Yeah.
And it would have been funny if Scotty rode out on the headless horse. The headless horseman? The horseless headsman? What would it be?
The headless horse, man.
Headless horse.
And why does he think a rope is going to kill him? I brought a rope, he told him. How the hell are you going to choke out a fucking bear, a 15-foot bear, with a rope? What the hell are you doing?
No, he did say 15 foot. It did say 15.
What?
Yeah, because at the beginning they say
poster.
Yep, most are 8 or most are 7, but this one was 15 or something. He said. I remember
the poster says 18 feet of towering fury.
Yeah,
it's all over the poster.
In the movie, they say 15. And then when you see the bear, he's like a baby bear. He's like a foot tall.
Yeah.
Oh, the cub scene too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Poor thing.
And when they find out that it's a male because the males are cannibalistic.
I wonder if that's true, like scientifically, or they just made it up for the sake of the movie.
I'm treating it like it's scientifically a fact and telling everyone now.
Why not? Did you know?
He changed Wikipedia. He put in that information.
I always wonder about when I watch movies if they're just pulling shit out of their ass for a script, or they actually did the time to research it and said, "Hey."
I feel like the only 2 nature movies that did it right were The Birds and Grizzly. So I trust everything those 2 movies say about birds and grizzlies.
Everything they say.
I'm doing my doctoral dissertation on Grizzly.
I like when they had that discovery in the shed. It's like a slasher. Again, the first kill you see with the POV and then they go out there and they go in the shed and the body drops. That is 100% what you see in slasher movies. These
kills are slasher kills.
How did do you think the bear got help from Mrs. Voorhees suspending the body in the air?
I'm telling you, if you substitute the bear for a mass killer, this is like the first slasher film in the sense of like Black Christmas. I understand.
Girls Night Out stole from Grizzly. They're like, Grizzly did it right. Let's just
literally put him in a bear outfit.
Maybe so. Maybe they were watching it one night. Couple guys sitting around getting high, saying, "Oh yeah, this is like a bear slasher." Well, hey, How cool would that be? We always have costumes. Why not put somebody in a bear costume? Yeah, that's a movie.
Tell you what, that would be a fun double feature, Grizzly and Girls Night Out.
You're right. We should do it. Yeah.
Do a bear show. And we'll eat bear claws. And we'll eat bear claws.
Then and then put The Shining on at the end, just for that one scene with the bear blowing the guy. And there's
that was Bart from Spaceballs blowing from the guy.
Yeah. It was kind of like Ralph too from the fucking Muppets.
He was giving Lone Star a BJ.
That's a meme I'd love to see.
Lone Star.
That would be a good spoof.
Someone could easily do it if they're good at memes. Just put Lone Star's face on the fucking guy. See, we got to put out some shirts. I'm telling you. That's what
I got to do that. Shirts.
Sell them on sites and shit. I'm telling you.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I'll try to if I remember, I'll try to doctor something up. And Docky went up too.
Docky?
I don't know.
Cut.
It's a new word now, Docky.
I like
Docky went up.
I like Christopher George. He's a good actor.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I wish he lived longer too, because like after it was the early '80s, right? I mean, he was in Enter the Dragon. He was in this. He was in a fucking shit ton. Look at his credentials.
Yeah.
I mean, City of the Living Dead. We just did a few episodes ago. Like,
yeah, he died young. He did a lot. He was very good. He had charisma.
Oh, he's in Graduation Day too, correct? Or is that the guy from? Yeah.
No, I think he was.
Oh, that's him. Okay, all right.
The principal or the head coach or something. He's in that movie.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I think he was the coach.
You feel bad for the characters when they die. Again.
You do. Yeah.
It works. That's what people always say. I want likable characters, and I want to feel for them when something goes bad for them. And that's what it does. For being a silly, fun movie, like C said, a fun fucking bear killer, there's heart to it as well with the character. The characters are likable, and you actually feel for them. Maybe that's why they Frenchied what's her name out of the movie, because they just didn't have enough to build on with her. They started off with
had a sex scene at the very end where they're laying on the bear rug, but it's all in pieces.
That would have been awesome. They cut to 3 months later, and it pans in, and they're smooching. He's like, huh? And the escorts are down to the fucking bear rug, and it's Grizzly. It's an 18-foot rug.
How about it's Grizzly, but it's sewn together, and the head's in the wrong spot. Everything's in the wrong place. It's just like a fucking.
Yeah, it's all stitched together.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean? It's like quilted. It's like a big quilt.
Yeah.
Because you see all
He's
different
just lying naked on it. He's like, huh?
Sometimes they
and then the credits roll.
They have like beaver parts on there and shit because they couldn't look at it. It's like stitched in. Oh, well, we had to improvise. We just had to have this head and as much of the body as possible.
They have the horse's head. They have Scotty's horse head. That's that.
And there's horse parts.
Yeah, they
tail on it, the horse tail.
Right, we are going way off. But even the showdown with Kelly and Kittredge, very much like Brody and the Mayor.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but
that was a terror.
But it's effective.
Torn.
It's effective.
Okay.
I like once the kid's attacked and maimed and the mother's hurt and the mother's killed, then he's like, we do it my way now. And he's like, yeah, like he had.
And the baby. Pardon me, not the baby, but
the kid. Yeah.
It can't be underestimated. You see a kid, they say he doesn't die, but to me, he fucking dies. You see the kid, his fucking leg's gone, and he's thrown and he's bloody. I'm like, wow, bravo, a fucking kid killed. In a PG movie? Come on, man. That alone, that elevates the movie immediately to see a fucking
The only thing would have been funnier if that rabbit was killed right before the kid was killed.
That rabbit.
Yeah, the bear picked up the rabbit, and was like, rips the rabbit in half, and then takes the kid's leg clean off.
Or wiped his ass with it.
Thank you. See, yes.
Damn it.
She wiped his ass with the
rabbit.
And then killed it.
Yeah.
Mud flap, and then he just runs off.
That's the name of our podcast, Rabbit and Brown.
Rabbit and Brown.
Oh, shit.
Man, we really do crack us up. That's the still to this day the best review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or whatever the fuck it's called now is these guys sure like to crack themselves up.
Yeah, that's why it's 4 stars, but I'll take it. It's worth it to crack ourselves up.
Fuck
Fuck
that guy.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna check the
Or
thing
girl.
while we're at it.
Fuck her.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out and see if you got any new ones while you guys are wrapping this up.
Well, I mean, I said everything I can say about it. It's fun. It's rewatchable. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with Christian. It's got a lot of rewatch value. It's a lot of fun. It could have been elevated if, for me, in that third act, if there was a little bit more with the three main guys together. I know they had the campfire talk where they're talking about the Indians and stuff and all those stories. It's just not quite Jaws, which is unfair to compare it, even though it is piggybacking off that a year later. But that's fine. Why wouldn't you want to piggyback off one of the most successful films of all time? But 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Okay, I would have given it a 7.5 out of 10. That was my rating, but I was so impressed with the bear and the animal trainers and the work here, especially the scene with the freaking the tower when he knocked. I'm thinking, I looked it up on the Blu-ray to see if this all of them. I had the Blu-ray. I want enough of the background. Same thing with Orca. I went and looked to find. I want to know a making of, and there's none. And it's really sad because I really want to see. But I raise it another extra half a point just for the animal stuff here because I think it's that well done. So for me, it's an 8.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah,
man.
good stuff. Yeah, never would have thought I'd enjoy it that much, but I did.
It's so much fun. Those Killer Bear movies. I mean, it is like I think I enjoy Grizzly a little bit more than I enjoy Day of the Animals. But Prophecy is
Haven't seen
another.
it yet.
I like it. It's on par. But the Prophecy is great too. And the Prophecy has, of course, that sleeping bag kill, which is fucking just
Which
one
I
of the
love.
funny. I mean, how can you not like a fucking kid literally exploding into down feathers?
Yeah, a person turns into feathers.
He turns into fucking Mummy does. Oh, we didn't talk about Think about Mummy. I love in these old movies, and when it was in the Burrs, Tippi Hedren, after she's attacked, they always bandage people up like they're a fucking
Well,
mummy.
she had like the mumps. My doctor said, she goes, did she get attacked by birds or does she have the mumps?
Yeah, she looks like she got.
Mum.
Yeah, they always wrap them up
That's
like
cool.
fucking mummies at the end.
Because if they go around the head, it's a head wound. When they go around this way, it's the fucking mumps.
Yeah, right. Oh,
Mumps and
Come on.
Sons.
Yeah, mumps. I'm not gonna let that joke get away. That was good. All right.
All right.
one more to go. Animal trilogy.
It's the bare necessities.
Boom, horse head, right off, clean off.
Oh, wait. Horsehead, wasn't
The
that?
only thing that could have made that better is if they had like a horse weenie, like as it was coming off, like.
Totally.
Oh, Dave, you didn't talk about the toupee scene. Like,
Oh,
what's
that's
bloody
right. Check
toupee.
my notes.
Talk about your
I
bloody
even
toupee.
Yeah, that one scene in
Oh.
the beginning. What does my note say? Hold on. It says, okay. Blood and gore, slasher, discovery, and shed fell into something bloody. A random swim. Oh, that's funny. That one chick takes a random swim for no reason. It's the last time we see her. She gets naked
Yes.
and goes for a swim.
Yeah,
for no
and you see the bear just like reach out and grab her. Like,
Yeah.
It was very cartoonish the way the bear goes like,
Yes. What a weird thing to do in a search party. I'm going to go take a swim.
Well, the boyfriend was like, I'm going to go up the mountain and just check here. And she's like, I'm just going to soak my feet in the stream. So I get it. It's beautiful there. But,
Yeah,
like,
I
I don't know. After, like, it's silly in the sense that, like, you're out here because people are being mauled to death. Like how'd the bear get? I want to see the bear, like, sort of, like, log stepping out there on the water. Because it looks like
Log
she's on, like...
stepping.
It looks like she's on like a tiny little thin log. I want to say, right?
Right?
Just grab her.
It's weird. But here's the toupee. See, look, I took a picture. What is that supposed to fucking be? To me,
A bloody pile of goo.
there's a little bit of blood in a toupee. And I messaged these guys. I go, what the fuck? Of course, they explained it later. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's as bad as the like I said, for years I used to think that it was just feathers on the ground when it was Muffin Dead. When I watched it on VHS and DVD. That's what this looked like. Just a fucking...
Well, Muffin's original name was supposed to be Feathers. So you weren't wrong.
feathers. But yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. Just a little bit of blood and a toupee on the fucking ground. Oh yeah, it's the aftermath of something. I go, okay, which is weird because they had such good gore. They thought to have a decapitated horse look pretty good, but in this scene they just put a toupee on the ground.
That was the horse's toupee.
Oh,
All right, enough horsing around.
It's a bear movie too.
I think we covered the bare necessities.
Yes.
All right, bear with me while I pull up the description for Orca.
No changes on iTunes, by the way. No new ratings. We got about 5 or 6.
I heard the Blu-ray edition of Grizzly is bare bones. All right, I'll just hightail it, Eddie.
You're not.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. You can stay.
No, that's why I have to go out on top.
Right.
On a high note.
Oh, bare bones.
I love Watson. Wait, before you go on, Watson responding to your feet. What was that?
Feet ball parm. He's like,
yes.
That's a no for me.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's like, feet ball parm. Yep, that's a no for me. He didn't like feet ball parm. Where's Watson been?
He's
okay?
being smart. He's fine.
Is he on Facebook too?
He's not off. I can't convince him to go off, but he's less and less, and he's busy. So hey, yeah. I'm trying to get everybody off. Believe me, I'm preaching it to everybody I know.
He's like, I'm trying to get everyone off.
Yeah, follow my lead.
I gotta get y'all off.
If I could get one person off, I've done my job here. Bad choice of words. If I can get one person to quit Facebook, I've done my job. Enjoy it, because I tell you, I don't miss it at all already. I'm fucking, again, if I have to come back to do some work.
I was never that present to begin with, so I'm certainly not that. I've certainly never been active, so.
Remember, it was down? I was celebrating for a day. I told the girl in the morning, like the night before, the shit went, I was watching football on Sunday. I said, tonight on 60 Minutes, there's going to be a whistleblower. I'm like, okay, great. The next morning, I told this girl at work about it. I go, wouldn't it be great? It was so crazy my time. I go, wouldn't it be great if this whistleblower, it ended up being something big and they took down fucking social media completely? And she's like, yeah. And then I'm working, I had to train her that day. And 2 hours later, it was down. I said, look at this. And she's saying, oh, I go, there's no way. I go, this is just going to be another, for me, an endless dick tease, because I always get them. I'm not allowing myself to get excited and that Facebook was taken down. Things could never be that good. Sure enough, it came back and, whatever.
Dude, it was rough though for those 8 hours. I couldn't message anyone on Messenger.
I actually had no clue. The only thing that our carpool for like the dance drives, WhatsApp we use because one guy has an Android.
Yeah,
WhatsApp
communicate with them too. Yeah,
and it was down, and but I had no clue because I was working.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden I hear it was down for 8 hours. I'm like, huh. Other than that situation, which we just...
JP had a funny comment though when he came back on. He went into Fresh Cuts. He's like, Mike, you okay? I thought you'd be on suicide watch.
It was me. Oh, I said that in the Survive 70 thing.
Oh,
I said it as
that's where it was in Survive 70. And
just in case it came back, that was going to be what he was going to, because it is true. And I was talking to Jamie and them about it. I said, I go, somebody better check Mike. He might be on suicide watch. There's no question. He might off himself if there was no social media. I don't know what he would do.
I miss Messenger. I love Messenger. I could get rid of Facebook, but Messenger I love.
I like Messenger too, but I can only be in so many groups because there's always one or two guys that aggravate me and I can't be around it. So it sucks. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm only in four. I think I'm only in like 4 groups.
I could be in a group with you guys. I could be a couple people, but there's too many people that are doing it too much and they're always saying the same shit or they're arguing or making people can't even be fucking chill in freaking groups. So that's the problem. But whatever. That's another.
You know what? I was gonna bring that up at the beginning of the show that I've noticed that everything feels very confrontational of late. That's what I've noticed the last couple of weeks. Everyone feels like, I don't know.
Oh, fuck you.
Even in a positive way. Even when people are even when people are saying like positive things, people are like, it's a great year. Like, chill, relax. Like, fucking A.
It may be COVID. It may be just like a combination of things. But yeah, I always go through phases too where I've just noticed it a little bit more. I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I wasting my time on this stuff?
It's right, dude. It's at an all-time high now. It's at.
I even chilled out on my trolling because I'm like, man, people are very agitated. I won't troll as much.
Yeah.
Because usually I go into Fresh Cuts and I post like the worst movie that I've seen, and I tell them it's a great movie and that everyone should check it out. But nobody ever falls for it. I tried to do it with Dreamcatcher, that movie on Hulu. It's the worst movie I've seen all year by far.
With a K? Dreamcatcher with a K?
No, it's with a C, but it's absolutely
one?
atrocious. It's a 1 out of 10 I gave it. It's the worst movie of the year. And I was
maybe every movie with that title has that problem, because I hated the Stephen King one that had the all-star cast from way back when.
Yeah,
I thought that was dreadful.
No, this one
like
on Hulu, and it's in 2021. So I'm like, it's on Hulu. Hulu doesn't seem to put out as much new stuff as the other streaming services. So I'm like, I'll check it out. Whew, rough.
You got to follow my lead, homie. I'll tell you what to watch.
I'll tell you what. There's so many TV shows and limited series and documentaries that I'm telling you now, 2022, I'm chilling out.
Yeah,
I know
you're too wrapped up with Scott and Heather. They're fucking balls deep in.
No.
You can't help yourself.
I will. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna watch a lot of new movies. I'm not gonna watch as many as I watched this year. No way. I might hit 300. I might hit 300 this year. I'm at 211 already.
I'm not gonna hit 300 total for all movies. Hopefully, knock on wood.
I'll probably hit about 500 total for all movies.
My goal is 260. It'll never happen. I always go a little bit over, but my goal is always 260 because that equates to 5 movies a week.
But I want to watch all these Netflix shows. I mean,
dude, that's all I'm watching is shows. That's the thing. I watch them with my wife and daughter. Yeah. Right now we're watching Squid Game. I watched the Surviving R. Kelly Part 1, Part 2. I've been watching that. I've been watching something called I Am a Killer. I've been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I've been watching.
I will say this. I got 2 episodes of Squid Game left. Man, that is an absolutely fantastic show.
It's good shit, man.
My wife and daughter are watching, and son are watching it, and they said it's fantastic. They don't understand why I'm not watching it, and it's just the timing right now.
Eventually you got to get to it though. It is great. I mean, it's Korean. Korea puts out such great stuff, and I hear a lot of people now posting about like some of the translation is getting lost. There are Korean people who are posting that Netflix's translation is a little off sometimes, so you're missing some stuff. But I'm like, still a great show. You could pick up just from watching, the characters.
Well, their love of this helps me because I get them to say, listen, now you can check out The Call with me. Yeah. I Saw the Devil, which is that one. That was pretty vicious. So I'll
I think that one of the guys, I think the lead guy from I Saw the Devil is in Squid Game.
I don't think.
There's so many fucking great South Korean films. Like they've got the best. I've said this before. I'll say it again. They've got the best cinematographers there right now. Yeah. They look fucking amazing.
Yeah.
They look amazing.
The new movie from the guy that did The Wailing has come out. I got a screener opportunity sent to us the other day in the email, but it's coming to Shudder in a week or two. So I'm like, whatever. We'll just wait till Shudder.
What movie is this?
There's a new one coming out. Yeah.
I'd love to see.
You know the name of the movie?
No, I'll tell you after. I got to look it up. It's in my email somewhere. I don't know.
All right, cool. All right.
Well, let's get to this last one. Yeah.
Orca. Yeah, Orca, 1977. A hunter squares off against a killer whale, seeking vengeance for the death of its mate.
Whew. So I hadn't watched this since I was a kid. And I actually only remember A House on Stilts or something like that. And I couldn't remember anything else. And
it's the same tower from Grizzly.
Yeah. It's really just a house on the edge of the water. Can you hear us, Dave?
No, yeah, I can hear you, but I can't.
Yeah, no, I can't hear you.
Oh,
I can't hear you.
Okay. It was a house on the edge of the park. On Stilts.
Yeah, that's exactly what, and on Dead End Street. Anyway. The look, you want to talk about good cinematography? This movie looks way better than I ever expected it to look. It's filmed widescreen in the anamorphic style, so you'll know that right away. I was shocked at how much I enjoyed this movie. I was shocked. It's such a silly premise, but they sell you on it. It's way too talky for its own good. The voiceover is not necessary, but they feel like they need to do it for whatever reason to help for the transitions. It's kind of episodic. It's like very distinct 3 acts where I think they, which is fine. And they try to give it a climax. I was really, really impressed.
Yeah,
Quite
I think
frankly.
they do that voiceover because they're going for sort of that classic epic, like Moby Dick retelling. I mean, they even sort of, this is really sort of a retelling of Moby Dick. So that's why they have Rachel sort of narrating it. I do feel it is unnecessary as well. I do agree with you. I enjoy this movie a lot. I also don't think I've seen it since I was a kid, but always remembered Richard Harris and enjoying him. And it's, this was my favorite watch this time of this film. I think I appreciated it more, and I enjoy the dialogue in this and everything and the development and the things you learn, and I genuinely feel that he is remorseful.
It's almost
But
like he wants to be taken by him.
it's almost like he talks about wanting to apologize and make things right, and they almost reverse it where now you kind of feel for him, and the animals sort of like become this like prick. It's like but at the same time it's like you want everyone to be okay, but the animal, he's not thinking straight either, the same way he wasn't thinking straight at the beginning when he's trying to poach the animal for money.
So I didn't remember any of the opening or that sequence with the mother and the baby part, and my mouth dropped when that baby dropped. My mouth dropped.
Yeah.
That baby whale.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was horrible. And you just and then the scream, and then I honestly think Quentin Tarantino, I know he for the Kill Bill look, like that orca had Kill Bill moments. It's like that red hue that comes over him when he sees red. Literally, it's like that yeah moment where he goes crazy. And there's some great scenes and he's a vengeful fucking whale.
Yeah, well, the screaming of the whales and all that, everything I think is very accurate scientifically that they're saying in this film. So I think with that, it makes it even more horrific. All the facts you're learning about how they're monogamous and stuff like that. And so,
I mean, I'm going with what you're saying. I don't know, but they sell you on it at the very least. Like I believe it.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was my first time. So, it's, again, animal movies have never been my go-to. But I've been okay with most of them that I've watched. I don't know. I'm weird. I guess I'm so focused on certain type of movies that I didn't give other ones a chance. But I've come a long way, and now I see these ones, and I'm digging it. And I dig this. Again, I think that it runs a bit long at times with the dialogue and some other stuff, and I think that there isn't quite as much action and engagement for me as the other two. But I did enjoy it. It's a really good story, a nice revenge story and all that other stuff. And again, I'd like to know the making of it. How the hell do they get this freaking whale or whales, I don't know, to do all this stuff? It
was two people in a whale outfit.
See, that's the thing. This is real. Nowadays, it would be CG. It would look not good, or it's done well. And again, with the characters,
It's done well.
It's done well. The Nolan character and what happens there, and he has regret later. And
dude, Nolan's character it's very deep. I mean, I don't even really know how to articulate it, but the back and forth between whose side you're on. I mean, obviously at the beginning went with the whole scene on the boat with killing the mate and the whale screaming and the baby. Like, it's horrifying. And at this point, I want the whale to jump on board and rip Nolan apart. But after that, the minute especially when you see the male push the female back to shore, back to where Nolan parked his boat. Oh my God, heartbreaking.
Yes.
And you're like, I hope this whale kills him. And then there's so many scenes of dialogue of Nolan talking not only with Rachel, but he goes to see the Reverend and asks about sins against animals, and then he tells Rachel about his story and how it imitates it, it mimics what he did to the whale, in terms of his family dying, and you start to feel for him, and you're kind of rooting for him, and he wants to do like a rational thing, make amends for it, but the whale won't have it. And the funny thing is, like, the whale, like, it's not a fish, it's a mammal, so it's like another human being. So now the whale is being irrational the way he was being irrational. And so now you're kind of like, I hope he does kill the whale because the whale's killing all these innocent people. fucking bites both Derek's leg off.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
scene
that
with the
was
house,
sad.
right?
Yeah.
And the
But
cast leg.
she lives. They even say at the end that she was maimed for life, but she's alive. Everyone else
She's got
dies.
like one of those pirate wooden legs. She's on the boat going, "Arr, matey!" In Orca 2, she's there. Orca 2 on the move. The thing about this is it really is a ripoff, like in a sense of Jaws, like of that. I mean, it goes its own way, and then the fucking sequels to Jaws rip this movie off.
Yes, they do. I was going to point that out. Yes. How about that?
So
It's like Halloween
like
and Friday.
it's like very, very influenced and probably got greenlit because of the success of Jaws. But then, like I said, then it really did just get the Jaws sequels ripped it off. Like again, it was clear as day watching it. But I just was impressed. I don't know why I didn't think it would have had high production values. For some reason, I just thought it was a cheap knockoff. But this seemed like it had a budget behind it. It was well casted. It looked, like I said, it looked great. Great music. I love the ending, the last act in the sort of Arctic waters, and the fact
great.
like the like again it changes, it escalates to another level of the movie. You're not in the same area again, so they get there and then even pushes the iceberg towards the
dude. It's great.
boat,
even when Nolan says this whale isn't as smart as he thinks, when he's like he won't be able to get up through the ice, and I'm thinking to myself like. Not only is it great that they both think they're outsmarting one another, but it's almost as if they're both on a suicide mission. Him and the whale. It's like, yeah, I think the whale is aware that he might not be able to get up through the ice, but he doesn't care. He's so hungry for vengeance. I almost felt like a better ending would have been if the whale killed itself. If the whale like went down and never came back up. No, dolphins have been known to commit suicide by going underwater and never coming back up.
So have dogs, right? I know.
No, I'm serious.
The whale should have dove out a window.
If you ever watched The Cove. The Cove is one of the most disturbing documentaries ever made, and they talk about one of the guys who trained the flippers.
Oh, okay.
And he talked about how when dolphins commit suicide because they have to come up for air, they'll go underwater and they'll never come back up.
But why are they committing suicide? What's the reason?
Because dolphins have emotions. They get sad.
What?
Yeah.
Sad to the point of fucking ending their life.
Yeah, it's just like humans. Just like I thought this whale was. Like when he says it's almost like it's on a suicide mission. I almost felt like they both needed to die at the end of this.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been like
that's the point
when he hesitates from shooting. When he hesitates there, I almost thought he's like, I can't. I deserve to die almost. But then he ends up trying to shoot him again.
Yeah.
But at that point, I think that's where the whale hits. That's the only scene. It's a little. I think they could have done something. Just kept the same idea, but like he's up on the top of that little chunk of ice, and the whale hits him down, but then when he slides down into the whale's mouth, it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
They both needed to die, though. They both needed to die. That would have elevated this film for me as well.
I can see that.
Because it's sort of like the moral tale of, seeking vengeance, dig two graves, that type of thing.
That's true. But I guess a lot of people wanted, maybe it was a Hollywood thing, or they wanted, you know what I mean? They wanted to see that the whale didn't die. So people.
But by the end of the film, are you sad that Nolan died? Or are you happy that the whale got revenge?
That's true.
That's what elevates this film for me. Because I'm like, I don't know. Like I remember, like, because I hadn't seen it in a long time. I remember back in the day, I was like, I'm Team Whale all the way.
Team. You said that? You're Team Whale all the.
Whale said.
Oh.
Yeah, man. What was I gonna say about this? Well, first of all, the boat in the beginning. It should have been called Jaws, or maybe Bruce or something, because the boat in Jaws is called Orca. So they should have nodded back to him in this one, right? They should have called the boat Jaws or Bruce or something. No question, nod right back to him,
It's funny that's called Bumpo, and the whale keeps bumping the boat.
Bumpo, like a Bumpo car. And the guy says, that idjit's in the water, he says. Idjit. The only other time I heard someone use the word idjit is fucking Yosemite Sam in the fucking cartoon. You darn idjit. I've never seen a human being use that word. Have you? Egypt? To call somebody a idiot or something like that? EEJIT.
I thought he was just saying idiot with a weird accent. Like,
No,
idiot.
Egypt. No, it's Egypt. It's even in the fucking, what do you call it? The, subs. and what's his name says it all the time. Somebody saying, I'm thinking just made that up. Egypt. So it is a
word. In a while.
I'll make a dumb observation as well. But I think two of the movies we watched both had J&B whiskey or bourbon or whatever it is in the movie. I just think it's weird. I mean, I know it's a pretty popular brand, but it was showcased in The Birds and it's showcased on the boat in Orca as well.
Well, you weren't wrong. That was a stupid option.
Even when I noticed it, I'm like, I'm gonna bring this up in the show. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why would I bring this up in the show? But then Dave brought that up. I follow suit. Yeah, why not?
And
there's a connection.
Annies.
Why go out on top?
There's an Annie in Orca. And an Annie in The Birds. There's two Annies today, too.
Oh, there are a lot of Annies. And there's a legless kid in Grizzly and a legless woman in Orca.
See? How about this?
Do you think any of the other ones were filmed in Newfoundland?
And there's POV whales and POV bears. And Jolly Bear.
There you go. And they're on the coast of Labrador.
Yeah.
Labrador Retriever.
That's what I asked.
Right. And Gordon is a Labrador Retriever who killed himself. And B was saying that this whale should have killed itself, and that dolphins, in fact, do.
I'm about to kill myself like fucking Flipper and Gordon in a second here.
How have you guys not seen The Cove? For people who say they like documentaries, how have you not seen The Cove? Or Blackfish?
It's too sad. That's why.
I thought it was racist. So I said
He's going to their concert in a few weeks.
What concert? Ooh.
Blackfish.
Blackfish? Oh. Blackfish.
I don't know why I'm there.
Yeah, what was that dance?
I don't know. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you a Fish song.
Oh. That's okay. You know what? It seems like the boat isn't heavy enough. When they pull up that female fish in the beginning, and that you see that giant, the thing weighs tons. How would that boat support that freaking fish? It should have been a bigger boat.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
I was waiting for somebody.
Holy shit sticks.
See, again, people say this is a ripoff and the other one, but to me, they're not a ripoff. They're inspired by a ripoff. To me, it's something that it's
Cruel Jaws is a ripoff where they literally take scenes from it. That's a ripoff. This is you're right. These are inspired. These are well inspired films. Uh-oh.
I'm here, but we're breaking up, aren't we?
No,
we're breaking up? No, we got a couple hundred shows left still. Come on, let's.
We're almost to 500.
We don't want to break up, do we?
It was like all getting staccatoed.
What about a cat?
Yeah. A cat.
Yeah, there's a black cat. Yeah.
There's no cats in
I love when he does that. Yep. Yosemite National Park. That's where
Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
Yep. Another connection. Yosemite National Park and Yosemite Sam says idiots. And they say it in this movie. How about that? How about that one guy says, he reminds me of me, says I won't even kill a fly. It was that this movie or was it Grizzly? Remember the guy said
that was Psycho. I'm not even going to swat that fly.
That's right.
They'll know, and they'll say, why she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Is that what you were thinking of, Psycho?
No, the guy said that he used to. And now he doesn't want to hunt whatever they're hunting. He goes, nowadays I won't even kill a fly. He said. The guy says that. It's literally a line in one of these two movies. It's not in The Birds. It's in Orca or it's in Grizzly.
I think it's the Grizzly. I think he said. I think the bear says, "I won't even hurt a fly, but I'll decapitate a fucking horse."
Yeah. I was gonna make the bird say, "I'm not gonna swat that fly, but I'm gonna punch this fucking pigeon in the fucking face."
Pigeon. I think he was trying to kill a fly. No, when he killed the horse, it was an accident. There was a horse fly on the horse.
Yeah, it was a horse fly.
He cut his head off. Goes, wow.
Oh, we're off the rails. I don't know. Fucking Orca.
Where the hell am I?
This movie is not well received. Like, critically, this was panned. I think it's developed a following over the years. But at the time when it came out, I remember, I think, again, people just like, oh, Jaws ripoff, whatever. Not inspired by it. They just looked at it as a ripoff. And so instantly garbage. Like, they couldn't just, judge it on its own merit.
And you know who Richard Harris's niece is in real life?
Danielle Harris.
Tell us.
Annabelle Wallace.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. I was looking up
No, don't wow me. You didn't know who Annabelle Wallace was last time. You remember her now?
What do you mean? Dave didn't know who it was.
Don't you remember?
What?
He didn't.
I remembered. Dave did.
You...
I didn't.
I know.
Was it
I
Dave?
know.
I said,
Dave,
oh,
no.
wow. Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh, wow, me. Do you even know who Annabelle Wallace is?
Nope.
That's
I played dumb. I played dumb to get it over. No, I just wanted you to feel good.
From Malignant and Annabelle. Are you kidding? We went over this last show.
Okay, sorry. I forget. What can I say? And I just wanted.
I'm right there with you, Brandon. I knew he didn't remember who it was.
No, I just wanted to see to feel good. I was like, oh wow.
Fucking
pretend.
Tin Man over here.
Again, I'm not a tin.
I'm not me. I'm not. You did it again. I'm not a tin.
I want the Scarecrow to be saying that dialogue because he just has.
It's quite the opposite. I want people to feel good, so even when I'm not really interested or not really knowing, I just acknowledge like I am. You know what I mean? So they're not
That's
waiting.
like saying, Christian, I want you to feel good, even though I don't give a shit about what you're saying right now.
No, I'm just along for the ride. I don't want to be, who's that? I don't know. Just like when someone tells a joke, sometimes I laugh when I don't think it's funny. I just like people to feel good. I don't know.
I can't deny. I can't say I don't do that either.
Yeah.
Now I feel self-conscious. Have you been laughing 158 episodes of bad jokes?
No.
Laughing.
No.
Most of I'd say 95% of my laughter with you is genuine. There might be 5 where I feel bad. Kind of like when I was on Facebook. If nobody liked something, I would just give it a like. But no one else
man, have you ever seen a post with like no comments and no likes? It's been up for like 3 or 4 days, and you're just like, man, this person.
It's deserving.
Yeah, most of the time it's deserving. Most of the time I'm like, what? Why? Like, you should delete this.
Nobody gives a shit. It's about something that nobody gives a shit about. But if I see something that I think is something that people should give a shit about, I'll give it a like. But if it's the same fucking thing we've seen 100 times, or it's not funny at all, or
it's like when somebody puts for their birthday, donate to like, a cat shelter. It's like, fuck that. I'm glad when it's hit 0 of the $200 required for that.
Well, I'll donate.
What an asshole.
I'm more likely to donate to that because it's easy than doing anything.
I'm more likely to send my money to Annabelle Wallace. Who's that?
For acting lessons.
For a better wig in Malignant 2.
How about a whale attacking a shark in this movie? That's fucking great.
Yeah, that is.
I love how the guy hides himself with like coral.
Yeah.
Can you outsmart like marine life by
that
just
wasn't a guy. That was.
Well, it was a girl. Yeah. It was the
and
main
what's
girl.
his name? Nerds. Robert Carradine.
Oh, that's him.
Was Ken? Was
That's
was
fucking
her?
Lewis.
Yeah, that was Lewis. Her
Wow.
her like understudy or whatever who was with him, who gets knocked off the boat later. That was Lewis.
I saw his name in the credits.
Oh.
And I'm like, who the fuck? Oh my god, I can't even believe because I'm usually good at that.
I didn't even recognize him. He was so young.
I didn't see his name in the credits, so I didn't know. Son of a.
Oh, this would have been 8 years old. 8 years before Nerds.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't recognize an 8-year-old. Okay, forget it.
Yeah, he was on the boat with them. He was
probably like 12 years old.
He was very young looking.
Yeah.
I was like, Robert Carradine's in this?
Man.
I get confused with the Carradines.
Chief is in here. I mean,
yeah,
I know
Chief.
Robert,
Chief.
Chief shows up from fucking, what do you call it? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, no.
Chips. Yeah, Chips.
Yeah, potato chips.
Chief from Chips.
Yeah.
You're talking about the motorcycle cops? Chief, there's a chief in that movie or a show?
Yeah, Chief Chips.
I was actually thinking of the Beachcombers, but Chips came out of my mouth.
Chips.
Chips.
Yeah. Gee, that's what Francesca used to say when she was a baby. She would point at like a thing of Pringles and say, "Cheeps." Yeah, so I always say that, Cheeps.
The Beachcombers was a Canadian show.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of it though.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty popular show from back.
GFTO TV. Yeah, it probably was. Beachcombers. Yeah, that's great. Wow. Good old Canadian shows. I tell
I'm gonna catch up on Beachcombers.
You better. It was on. I didn't even know it this long. From 1972 to 1990.
1970 what?
350 episodes.
1972.
1972.
Oh, 72. Okay.
Did it have 18 seasons in a row, or did it go away and come back?
Well, I'm not too sure. I think it continued. 350 episodes though.
Oh, that's a shitload. It's
Oh
possible.
man, I'm gonna have to binge watch Beachcombers. Honeycombers?
Yeah, get on it.
Beachcombers?
I'll
What's
look,
it called?
I'll look for it. Beachcombers.
Beachcombers.
Beachcombers. Better than it's better than Baywatch, actually. Beachcombers. Does it have anything to do with the beach or no?
No.
Oh.
Well, it's about. Yeah, you just watch the show.
Do they comb the desert?
Yep. I ain't found shit.
comb the beach. We ain't found shit.
Now here's a problem.
Why? Spaceballs references twice this fucking episode.
That's
what was the other one?
You've been Lone Star.
Oh.
Lone
Star getting a blow job in The Shining.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was.
Holy shit. Okay, here's a complaint, and I've done this in another movie before, but I don't like it when they do it. Randomly, this girl starts doing narration, fucking 10 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes away, and then I think she dies. Does she die? Either way, whatever it is, then she comes back later for narration. If you're gonna have narration, have it the right way.
Yeah, she does. She doesn't die. She's the only one who lives. I mean, she's the main one, but it's weird.
Yes.
And like I said earlier, I think they're just going for like that classic Moby Dick sort of epic, narration, like a tragic retelling of the story of Nolan versus the killer Orca.
I feel like they needed to
but they
bridge the scenes. So that I said it earlier, and Brandon kind of said the Moby Dick part, but it was like she is in that school area where she is telling the history and all the facts about the orca, and that's where you get the schooling of it. And then right after that, they're on the water, and then she narrates to kind of catch you up to the story. Like, oh, this guy, he's fallen for me, and I feel like I've fallen for him a little bit. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, and it just kind of helps get you to that up to speed. And then again, it pops back later. But it's kind of like Silver Bullet, where I remember, I feel like Silver Bullet abandoned it for a longer chunk than they should have before reintroducing it again. And I figured the only way you could do it is you have it consistent throughout, like Shawshank Redemption, or you have it at the beginning and then maybe at the end. Yes, Shawshank Redemption.
Fucking Orca to Silver Bullet to Shawshank. Like, Marty, what the fuck are you talking about?
The only one not attached to Stephen King was Orca, so go fuck yourself.
Or was it Dave Z? Man, wouldn't it be awesome to have no use of your legs and be in a wheelchair?
What?
No, that was me.
Oh, that was you?
I said I would rather have no legs than one. I know I said that.
Oh, yeah.
I said in Silver Bullet, and Dave lost his mind because I said, wouldn't you feel like the luckiest kid in the world? But I just meant to have the silver.
Yeah, I remember that because I remember saying you could still ride Silver Bullet.
I said I wished that I thought I was crippled so that I could have the silver bullet.
This movie makes you almost wish that you were crippled or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
Oh man, these guys do.
Taking it a little far.
Anyway, I feel like. I don't know, it's not like this movie doesn't overstay its welcome. I don't disagree with Dave that there's maybe a little too much dialogue, but I love the schooling aspect because I think that's what separates itself from a ripoff, is they're actually trying to base this on fact. And
I feel like this. Listen, I'm not an expert. I'm not a marine biologist or anything, but I do feel like this is ground. I do feel like.
Anybody here a marine biologist? Sorry, I couldn't help it.
That's funny.
It is marine. Great kills. Great kills. The one in the beginning when the fucking whale jumps up and that guy's on the fucking the crow's nest or whatever the fuck thing is on the boat, and he fucking takes him and brings him down. That's great shit, man.
That was the Shrew's Nest.
The Shrew's Nest. What a movie. Yes. Crow's Nest isn't too terrible either.
I like it. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, what were you gonna say about being a marine biologist?
No, I was just saying I agree. I feel like all three of these films are grounded with some scientific facts about each animal.
They appear to be.
A bear is hairy.
Actually, no. You said it was patchy.
It's patchy now. It's on that rug. It's become. We should sell that. The 18-foot Grizzly from Grizzly and sell it as a bearskin rug.
They did. I think Severin did that. I think Severin put out Grizzly. Somebody put out Grizzly, and they sold they didn't sell a rug. They sold a replica of the bear. It was cool, but now it's like not. If you want it, you got to pay like $600 for it. Yeah, it was 18.
How about a rug though? Fanboys would give that like the ultimate Grizzly package. Comes with an 18-foot Grizzly bearskin rug for your house
for $10,000.
We can make it for $5,000 and sell it for $10,000 and probably get it.
And a VHS copy of the movie.
I got one right here. I'll give him mine. Throw it in. VHS. Well, that's not an accurate VHS. That's a fake. Oh, forget it.
It's a boot.
A boot, yeah.
Anyway.
It's a boot what?
VHS. A boot VHS. It's all a boot that.
It's the boot.
Remember that show in Canada was actually called A Bit of Boot? Yeah, it was a show. It was on CFTO.
It was on right after Beachcomber.
Yeah. Tonight on A Bit of Boot. Yeah.
I was Canadian TV'd out by that point. I have no clue what you're talking about. A boot.
A bit about. I'll look it up.
A bit of boot.
Yeah. A bit of boot.
No clue.
You guys both live in Canada.
This guy lives more in Canada than I live in Canada.
He does. I swear Dave's in Canada.
Well, because it was funny, there's comedy in it. A bit about. Where the hell is it? I'll look for it. Maybe it was a joke that kids used to say. Maybe kids said that in the 80s of the show. Yeah, you saw the new Canadian show, A Bit About. Maybe that's what it was. It was just a joke. I could be wrong.
Probably. Why don't you guys fucking punch your mics a few more times?
That sounds like North Tonawanda humor.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys are trying to grizzly your mics.
Grizzly.
I feel like I know we haven't been really talking about the movie too much more, but I don't know if there's too much more to say. Like I feel like we've talked about it. Again, looks great. Like the change of locations to the Arctic region for the end. I think that just kind of helps.
The score is great. I don't know about that song at the end.
At the end, it's hysterical.
Oh yeah. My God! When I kicked that, like, all right, fucking kill me now, please, Orca, kill me.
It's the 70s. It's the charm. It's funny though. I give you that.
But I think
there's also a 2-minute padded scene at the beginning. I think it's 2 minutes long of orcas just swimming around.
It's beautiful though. That's
because they're trying to develop their relationship, and a lot they reuse that shot over and over again of the orca jumping up, the whale flipping and coming out of the water, and I think they just superimpose it in different areas.
Yeah, totally.
After he commits arson, he's doing flips, and he kills a few people. He's flipping, and that's great because he's crazy. The whale becomes the antagonist.
Yeah.
He really does because he's irrational, just like Nolan's irrational at the beginning. Don't do this. Don't.
His people. Remember, they allude to it later. He lost his wife and his child.
Yeah. It parallels the whale, and they're very similar characters, and they can't rationalize with each other because they're both filled with grief. And even though he's remorseful and he wants to, make amends, he can't do it.
There's a suspension of disbelief with the level of vengeance, like that whole gas scene. No, he doesn't. The whale's not going to know that he can hit this, which is going to flood the whole area, and then knock that lantern that's down at the very end over the table to then.
Oh no, he knows.
But it's okay that a fucking zombie knows it'll Land of the Dead and everybody gives that a pass. Oh, wow, yeah. Big Daddy fucking orchestrated all
Evidently
this
you
shit.
don't. Not everybody.
It's ridiculous. I don't excuse it at all. That's my problem with that movie. But anyway, that's enough. Hey, did you guys see the video I put up of Ginny watching the birds? It was amazing.
No.
I'm sitting there.
Yes, and I told
started
you I was laughing at the wrong thing. I thought you were laughing at one of the names in the credits.
Oh, no. I started the movie The Birds last night. I put it on, and now Ginny's nowhere near the fucking television. As soon as the credits come on and it's all these birds, she fucking runs. I wish I could have got that, but it was too late. She ran up, she jumped on top of the sound bar, and she was looking up at the thing, and then for the first minute and a half of the fucking thing, and there you go. Ginny, you see her down there, and her head is moving with each bird flying by. She's going.
Oh my God, this is.
And she jumped up and touched my TV at one point. I said, Ginny! And then she got down. And then as soon as the credits ended, and it went to normal movie, don't have to with her. She just left. But it was a typical thing. A cat sees a bird or hears one and fucking went right to it and bugged out for a bit. It was so funny.
See, I didn't see it because I didn't press play. But for some reason, I didn't see the cat, and I'm looking at the names in there, and one of the names was Doodles Weaver. And I thought you just thought that was a funny name. I was just
I put it up on the Instagram. Anybody who's on Instagram, that's the only place I post now. Follow the Exploding Heads Horror Podcast on IG, and I put stuff up there, and it's all good. So
I've got to go because I got to get prepped for Canadian Thanksgiving that you guys make fun of so much. But it's Thanksgiving weekend, and we're celebrating today.
Right.
So I don't mean to cut it, but we talked Orca.
I'll be giving thanks. I live in a normal country.
What's your ratings? Give your ratings. We'll say goodbye. We'll say thank you to the Ram Man for choosing this. And
yes, thank you, Ram. And 7.5 is my rating for Orca.
Thank you.
Me Ram. Too. 7.5 for me.
7.5 for me. Thank you, Ram Man.
Wow. Awesome. What a way to go out. Okay. See you guys next show. Yeah, it'll be a Halloween-based show. Maybe we get to do Halloween Kills. We'll see what happens. And, unless there's too many pumpkins, but we'll see. We'll get there when we get there. So
there are too many pumpkins in Halloween
2000. We love you guys. And thanks to all the new patrons that have signed up that we haven't acknowledged yet.
Yes.
But thanks for joining.
Thanks for your money. We love your money.
Chi-Chi. And let's go. We got to get out.
Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Peace. We love you long time. We don't know how to end this show. Goodbye.